level. Let's get it. Run it up. Check the scope. Money talk, money more. Yeah. Main crew say they weed it. Kicking down the door. Run it up. Check the scope. Money talk, money more. What? Main crew say they weed it. Kicking down the door. Let's go. And it's the whole lane when I'm driving the machines.
What is going on? Happy hour Saturday night on Heavy Pour Sports, and we are live. It's not just me. I got the whole team with me, and I thought I had Coach Ryan in here to balance it out. I thought I had him to balance it out, and then I realized Drew was available tonight. So, like the show should be, we are full up blue, greater than orange tonight, but we do have a special guest. Hammer got him on, the bracket NKY, the bracketologist guru, Hunter Sampson. Welcome on, brother. Now, I do have to tell you, bracket Northern KY, you're not a Kentucky fan. I think you might actually lean Tennessee orange over Kentucky. I don't understand it, but the floor is yours to explain yourself here. When you had the chance to be a Big Blue Nation guy, and I don't think you want to be.
It's not that I don't want to be, and honestly, since Calipari left, I've become more of a Kentucky guy than I was when he was there. Fan base seems to be a little bit more calm now, we'll go with. Not necessarily a Tennessee guy. Have only been on with Hammer, so I appreciate you guys all having me on, but not necessarily just a Tennessee guy, more of a just, I'll say, neutral party in this fight. So, Hammer, it looks like you're down 3-1 at this point.
You better get some more folks, Rando. That's all I can tell you.
Hey, you invited him on. He already didn't want to even claim Tennessee. He was like, hey, listen, they suck. I don't really even want to claim them. But no, Hunter, thanks so much for coming on. I've seen you on Hammer Show, and I think your work speaks for itself. It's one of the things where I lean on what you put out over some of the, I'll say, quote unquote, bigger national guys, just because it seems to be more accurate, not biased, and always, want to support the hometown guys too. But before we get into the college basketball portal and some other things we're going to talk about, Hammer, Ryan, Drew, how y'all doing on this Saturday?
Doing good. Played some golf with a buddy earlier today. Now on the show, hanging out on a Saturday night, another Saturday night. So excited to be here, and let's talk some sports.
I think I got to take up golf, man. I went out to the LA Fitness and decided to run fives again. My body hurts, dog. We ran 3 games, and I am in so much damn pain. Game 1 was great. The midi was on fire. I couldn't miss. And then I got to tell you, I feel what these players feel. One of these guys brought in this evolution ball. Sucks. Terrible. I couldn't make a shot. I couldn't make a shot. It felt different in my hand. It was heavy. I mean, if it wasn't at the rim, and I'm not saying, listen, it was all ball. It wasn't my jumper was broken. I just said the first game was great. That it was the ball's fault. We need to get rid of this evolution ball. It was terrible.
Yeah, I think, with the evolution ball, there's an obvious conspiracy against Kentucky in the tournament lately, using those evolution balls just to give us a bad spot. But I'm honored to be on here with the bracket NKY guy. I just was kind of unsure, when you're trying to get to a bracket, right, you're going to the Final Four, a place Tennessee has never been. So I think that's why he's shining.
Zing! Oh, it's the joke that never gets old unless you're a Tennessee fan. And on that note, the lone Tennessee fan on the show tonight, because T left you hanging to go camping, which sounds super gross, but a shout out to T doing the family thing. Hammer, how you doing?
Well, I want to start by saying that I think we are much too white to have that intro played without T being here, and I'll leave it at that.
I love that intro. I can't wait till I'm really hoping we get to. I'm really hoping we get to drop that on ESPN 102.7 The Game if all this stuff comes together. Still looking for a sponsor, because they're gonna. I think especially those Owensboro folk can be like, "What in the hell is that?" I'm just be getting in the background.
Yeah, and if you don't play golf, let me tell you what to do, and it'll be the same experience. Take $100 bill, set it on fire, slap yourself in the nuts, and then take a shot of whiskey because it's expensive. It is a pain in the dick, but you'll have one shot that'll keep you coming back every time. So that's pretty much golf in a nutshell.
You're not wrong.
I don't do the golf. It's like I'd rather, I'd maybe rather hit myself in the nuts than go spend 18 rounds. It's too long. Like, put me in the cart with some bourbon, and I'm good. I'll watch you play all day. Just kind of hang out. I'll be the music guy. I'll be your hype guy. But I don't need to go out there and whack at this thing because I'm just going to embarrass myself. It's just not going to be. It's not going to be good.
I evolved from walking the course and carrying my bag to walking the course and putting it on a cart to riding to drinking beer, watching it on TV. That's been my evolution of golf through the last 30 years. So
I will say, Angry Birds game at Topgolf, you ain't beating me. You are not beating me because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where that thing goes. You just got to whack the hell out of it. And I can do that. I can just hit the living piss out of that ball and drop some birds and some buildings and stuff. I can do that.
I'll tell you, not everybody can though, Rando. I actually work in the golf industry. I'm not going to say what I do, but I do work in the golf industry. And more people struggle hitting a golf ball the first time than you would possibly think. It looks like Kentucky baseball, honestly, out there.
Or LSU baseball this season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardest thing I've ever done in my life is hit a baseball. The second hardest thing I've ever done is hit a golf ball.
Yeah, golf's not easy, and it takes a lot of time and reps and practice, and you still suck when you do that. So at least, like if you're a normal person and you shoot in the 90s or something, that's not bad. But to actually be good at golf, it's almost impossible. That's why the one percenters are on the PGA Tour and everybody else plays at their local municipal course.
Yeah, and I didn't plan on going on this tangent, but since we're on golf, did you see LIV out there asking for $250 million and then promising that you'd get your investment back in 20 months? It's like, listen, Saudi money's gone, all right? And all the players that you have are trying to leave LIV so bad to get back to the PGA. They're buying out of contracts, and they're praying to God this thing will just die so they can breach their contract. I just don't understand. It has been a complete, absolute shit show, and I can't imagine anybody with money with $250 million. They're not dumb to have $250 million in the bank. They're going to go like, this is good. This is where I want to put my money. Exactly. No way that's going to work.
Who would have put the money on John Rahm bankrupting Saudi Arabia because they had to pay him $700 million to go play LIV golf? And he just looks miserable the whole time while he's doing it. But they're asking for like almost 3 times what they gave John Rahm. So it's kind of funny, I think. I don't know. Fall on your face. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm happy they're falling on their face. I'm not going to lie. I never liked it from the get-go.
Yeah, I wasn't opposed to it, but it does suck when you watch the majors and you have like some LIV guys in the mix and you have some PGA Tour guys, like you have the Brysons battling with Rory's at the US Open and all these things. Like it makes you miss what we used to have on a weekly basis on the PGA Tour, especially some of the huge events like that. That's the worst part. And that really over the last year, I've kind of changed my mind. I never watched LIV, but I wasn't opposed to it. I understand the guys got paid a shit ton of money and didn't have to work very much. So I got that part, but it does suck as a fan. When you turn on a PGA Tour event and you see half the field, you have no idea who they are. And it's like, damn, like what if Bryson was in this tournament? What if John Rahm was in this tournament? What if Brooks Koepka was in this tournament? It would make it.
He is now.
He is now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's better with everybody under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely. And you said it's tough to watch. It's tough to find. Like the whole YouTube thing, it's just like the whole production value. I mean, we might have a better production value on Heavy Pour Sports than they do out there in LIV Golf. And I think they could have made it, a thing like this whole team play stupid. they just should have, tried to make golf the way it is, but maybe a little bit more exciting, like Happy Gilmore, where you actually have people like cheering in the background, something to make it more exciting. But yeah, the whole concept, just dumb. It didn't work. It's not going to work. But I do think, and you golf folks who are tied into it, while LIV isn't going to be successful, and I think people didn't like it from the jump, I do think there was some positive change in the PGA. The PGA had to kind of change some things on how they operate. So something good came out of it, outside of like some of your best players not playing in the tour. But at least the PGA had to kind of, go away from some of their like archaic thinking of like you're lucky to be on the PGA Tour to actually like giving some guaranteed money and some of the contracts being different. So something positive came out of it, I think.
Yeah. I think the one hard thing when you really think about LIV is I think the one thing that they had to struggle with is like they never could really build up a loyal fan base to really support or really be at the events to be there and cheer these guys on and really be LIV guys. And I think the hard part with that too is like we see it in every other sport, right? In basketball, it's the NBA. In baseball, it's the MLB. In football, it's the NFL. And the PGA Tour will always be the PGA Tour. It's like when we talk about, with MMA stuff, like the UFC is always going to be the UFC. And when, money can bring you like short-term competitiveness, but you see it now, long-term wise, it's just not sustainable. There's a machine there. There's a machine with the PGA Tour of whether it's good or bad. I mean, there's plenty of negatives within the PGA Tour, but They have it built. They have the foundation built. They have the legacy and the history built. And it's money can, what they did with money, it helped bring some short-term kind of boost that they had. But long-term, it was not sustainable. And I think that's why this is like year 4 of like LIV. It's already started to die out. And it's probably only a matter of maybe another 2 years until it's, I would say probably likely wiped, or maybe they're able to like change their market and turn into like a sort of minor league, like a different Corn Ferry Tour or something like that maybe they could kind of hang their hats on. But in terms of this whole like head-to-head trying to battle with the PGA Tour and getting guys over and putting on these events and all these things, it's not sustainable, and it's probably not going to keep going on for very much longer.
Well, it's the same reason you don't have NBA teams in Europe and Australia, everything else. There's a time difference. Yeah. So, like, if you're trying to follow the PGA Tour, with the exception of like 2 tournaments, the Scottish Open and the Open Championship, they're here in the United States. Now they might be in California, they might be in New York, but you've got a 3-hour window there to play with, as opposed to, damn, I got to wake up at 7 a.m. to watch the last 3 holes of this, and maybe it's a Monday, and like it's just not going to happen. So it's the same argument as to like when Roger Goodell starts spewing his nonsense about going to Europe and stuff. It's not going to work. There is a reason the NFL Europe was a failure. And it all has to do with time zones. So I guess these guys just really hate science. I don't know, but that. That it's somebody infamously in this Commonwealth once said, trust the science, right? So that, you've got to trust at least a little bit. And it's the same reason why nobody watches soccer over here. Sorry for all the soccer people. I just pissed off, but it's the same reason. Like I'm not going to wake up at noon on a Sunday to watch Manchester play Chelsea. Like I've never even been to England. I haven't cared about England since 1776. Happy Memorial Day.
Nice. But Hunter, you're not a fan. You think this thing, ends up just dying, and we finally get the PGA back in its purest form?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see another way around it. I mean, like Drew was saying, you can buy the views, you can buy some stuff for a little bit, but eventually you have to put a product out there people want to watch. I think I watched 1 round of it, and it just wasn't like worth watching. I'm going to turn the PGA on 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to turn it on 1 out of 10 times because the Masters, I'll watch it. I don't know how y'all jokers watch golf, especially from Thursday on. But
Ryder Cup, Rando. Ryder Cup.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you said, Ryan, you gave a little shot at the soccer folks. I'm just letting you know right now, World Cup, USA, the boys are bringing it home. I believe it.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
believe it.
I know nothing about soccer. I just
I'm
know that
bringing it back.
it's a lot of running. This is a lot of
It
running.
is.
So, you know, if you just by looking at me, you can tell that that's not my thing. So, yeah, I'm out on soccer. I like my sports to score.
The only negative about me leaving Cali a year early was that I was in like the folks who are doing like the security and whatnot and some of the barriers for at SoFi for the World Cup. Like I know them pretty well from what my job here, and like we were in there like swimwear, brother. Like I'm leaving early, so I'm not going to be able to watch some of the matches. That's a bummer. It definitely doesn't outweigh the fact I get to leave this godforsaken state a year early. Thank the Lord I get back to the East Coast. That's enough, Raymond. Let's talk about college portal. Like most of the portal's done, but we are waiting on the NBA draft combine, folks. Some of them are already starting to trickle away, saying they're going to come back to college. I'm going to go to the expert, Hunter. How do you feeling about the portal as we wrap up and some names come into it? Like, give us some insight on what you think is going to happen. We got Tennessee on the show, obviously. Kentucky, Louisville. Our Louisville guy is overseas right now, but they've done pretty well in the portal. But I'll hand it over to you, man, and let you talk about the latest when it comes to portal and draft combine.
Yeah, so I mean, right now, like you said, the portal's pretty much done, especially when it comes to like Tennessee or Louisville. I think they're pretty much wrapped up. I will say I'm not, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, but Mamulich from Iowa State is still up, hanging out there, draft versus coming back. If he comes back, I think he's probably a UK kind of guy. UK needs a shooter. You all have a lot of money to spend. That being said, St. John's, Louisville have both been linked to him. I don't think Louisville has the money to compete. St. John's, they're a blank check, so you never know what you're getting. But I feel like UK's kind of got that inside track with him. You all desperately need a shooter like that, and he'd be just honestly kind of really make your roster actually whole. Moreno with UK is leaning towards coming back, and I would expect to see him back at UK next year. And I think he's a guy that could average a double-double. If you get both of those two, then we're talking a top 15 or so team in the country, as long as Mark Pope can actually put something on the court this year. But all of the pieces should be there. Now, let's say one of them comes. Let's say Moreno's the only one. You're all going to struggle against shooting, and I think there's going to be some trouble. But if you can land both of those, you're in a good spot. And I'll take back all the mean things I've said about you all.
I love it.
I like it. Okay, so what I heard there, I hadn't heard someone definitively say. I think all of us are hoping and we expect, but you said like or not expect. We're hoping, and it makes the most sense to us as fans. But you said you expect Moreno to be back. Even with that 23rd and 25th pick kind of lingering some of his projections, you still think he comes back?
Everything I've heard, he's like 80-20 towards coming back, which has been where he's been at, or a little bit better odds to come back than I've seen. I think like I said, I think he can average a double-double and go in the lottery next year. So why not come back? The NIL payday is going to be the same as what it would be. I know at UK up the package that they're going to give him. There's no reason he shouldn't come back, in my opinion. That being said, I've seen crazier decisions. It's not a lock or anything like that, but I'd be surprised at this point if he's not wearing UK blue next year.
That's huge. That's huge. Yeah, I mean, would you – so him coming back, there obviously isn't a center in the portal that would match him. But you had guys like Flory and you had some other big names into the portal. Where would you put Moreno? Like, say he had entered the portal and in Kentucky had got him, or another school had got him. Would you put him as a top 3 center in the portal or lower? Like, I think some of the fan base has been frustrated with this offseason in the portal and misses, quote unquote misses, but we haven't really thought about retention, right? And what Cam Williams and what Braden Hawthorne are. But where would you put Moreno as a center, retaining him if he had gone into the portal?
If you've guy at LSU last year, Mike Nwoko, he actually committed to Xavier like right after the portal ended. He has 1 year left. I think he's a really good comparison to where Moreno would be, that top 10, 15 range. It's not like Moreno is going to be a complete, like you dump your entire like budget onto just this one player like you would a Flory or somebody like that. But definitely a really, really good guy that could develop into that kind of top tier talent. And that's where UK's just they've got to give him the money, and then they've got to develop him. It's all, I mean, you can retain, you can bring in portal guys. Look at what UK did last year. It's not just about bringing in these guys from the portal. You have to actually put the product on the court. So I think bringing him back, you can't do much better in the portal, to be honest, even if they had their pick of everybody. But he's probably a top 10 or so guy if I had to pick.
Overall or center-wise at that 5 spot?
Center-wise, sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just,
my Kentucky,
I mean,
my Kentucky blinders, I thought he was clearly a top 5 center, but you would think, 10 to 15.
10 to 15 with the upside of a top 1. I mean, he could be the best center in the portal if the right development and the right traction gets on him. But again, it's all going to be that development. Freshman to sophomore year is a huge year for all players. You've got to get stronger, and he's just going to have to develop his game. So he's a high ceiling, low floor, or high floor kind of guy.
I think he's better than Aiden Sherrill, if that'll make you feel better.
I would agree.
I mean, what he could do if he
could learn to shoot at a consistent rate from the outside, he would become interesting.
And I don't even worry so much about shooting the 3. I don't even worry so much about shooting the 3. If he's open, like we saw Oscar in his last year at Kentucky became deadly from the mid range. On the picking like short rolls to the mid range and spot up there. If Malachi can just do that and knock it down at a consistent rate, and maybe can take one open 3 every 3 games and shoot it at 30% or something like that, or 25%, nothing crazy, but can at least show okay, I can step out there. If I'm open, I'm going to take it and shoot it with confidence, and it'll go in a little bit. If he can just do that and then improve in some of the ball handling and some of the post ups and some of the mid floor isolations as a big or all those things, improving as a passer and getting tougher and better with his hands, then he's going to, he already will grow a ton. And with his size and he's not the most athletic guy, but he has some of those twitchy athletic abilities. I mean, he's got so much potential in him. And I think some of that is why that there is a potential chance that he could be a first round pick, because there's so much still in there that's yet to be untapped.
Yeah.
So let me, since T's not here to put the weights on the balloon, I've got to do it. So Hunter, let me ask you this: with Kentucky ranked 100th in just raw portal ranking, they're ranked 65th in composite ranking with high school recruits and transfer portal. I'm having a hard time believing that landing even both those players would shoot them into a top 15 position. What are you seeing that maybe I guess I'm not?
So if you're looking at just recruiting rankings, you're not going to include Moreno at all. And they don't have anybody returning, but I mean, who did you really want to return from that roster last year? I mean,
don't ask Rando. We'll be here 30 minutes.
No.
Brandon Garrison.
His favorite player.
Incorporate this in your answer, please, Hunter.
Don't tell Hunter how to answer.
No. I'm saying you can tell me that I'm wrong. I would have. I think McBride is better in Pope's offense, but I really wanted Modi back. I don't think you can get that same kind of motor, the same what he brings to a roster and on the court. He brought more possessions to us, and just there were times where this team would have been down and out without a Modi, like St. John's and stuff that he did. I would like to bring him back, and I did think Yelovich had some untapped potential at that 4 spot, but we went and kind of replaced some others at the 4 spot. Those are the 2 guys who I really wanted on top of Colin Chandler. Now was he worth $3.5 million? No, probably let him go to BYU, but those are the 3 that I really wanted to return. And so if you ask me who did you want, those are the 3, and you can let me know if we upgrade or not. I would love to hear your opinion on that and the guards we got and the 4 we got.
I don't disagree at all with those three kind of being the ones that I would have like kind of picked out. But at the same time, like you said, Chandler wanted way too much money, especially if you're talking about grabbing Milan. If he does stay out of the draft, you couldn't get him if you had given Chandler 3.5. Now you give Milan $2.5 million. Sure, fine. He's a shooter. I mean, he had the best 3-point percentage in the country last year, I think, ever. You bring in that kind of guy and you pay him whatever he needs. Now, when you start talking about like upgrading position over position, I think this team fits better than last year's team did. However, this team's talent is much less than what last year's individual talent was. But I've said it. I mean, I told Hammer this even when it was just us two. You can't have a collection of talent if they don't fit together, because you can put 5 guys on a basketball court. This isn't the NBA. You have to actually be able to play as a team and play defense and put things together. I really like Osman Ndiaye from Senegal. I really think he's an upgrade. And as long as he's actually going to be eligible, there's some new guidance from the NCAA that could impact him. But for right now, he's eligible. And I think he's very, very good. And he'll be kind of an underrated pickup for you guys.
I call him French Kevin Durant.
Yes, that's a great. I've seen that comparison from non-UK fans. So I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, dunk on him, son. Let's go. Let's go. Hey,
So we got
you
KD.
come on this show whenever you want. Whenever you want, you can come on this damn show. We'll kick Hammer off. and you can come
We
on.
got Kevin Durant coming. I
We
mean,
got Kevin Durant. Hang on now.
Let's go.
They said
Let's
we can't
go,
win a
the
title.
big
We got KD.
Yeah.
to
Awesome.
be fair, KD needed Steph.
Yes.
Hey,
Exactly.
Hammer, this is a great booking by you, man. Thanks.
Great job. He's never talking to me again. He's going to delete my number. He's probably already deleted my number.
We found out we got KD.
Now, to kind of go back to Irish's like original question here on how they're a top 15. The team right now, if you go to Bart Torvik's website, he has 24/7 or 2027 projections up, and Moreno is currently the second best projected player on the roster, right behind Zoom, and he's on the roster, and you all are 34th in the country right now. The biggest thing that I said from the get-go is you all are missing a shooter. So you add in a shooter, suddenly this roster jumps up 10, 15 spots. I could see that. That's absolutely possible. That puts you right in that 15-20 range. So that's how I got there with that. Again, projecting out using metrics or anything right now is terrible and really not a great idea. But just for some like basis of where I came from and kind of where my original thoughts were at.
I think your thoughts are spot on. I don't think they get any better.
I think he's a genius.
Yeah.
100%.
Maybe we get you into a top 5 spot.
No. You want to talk Tennessee top 5? Let's talk Tennessee top 5.
Oh, okay. Back the bus up here.
No,
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Because Tennessee's number 4 in the composite ranking, only behind Duke, Michigan, and Kansas. So we can talk about that, Hunter. That's fine.
Wait, Kansas?
Yeah.
So
They got
before we
Ramsey.
talk Tennessee, if you would allow me before we talk Tennessee, if Milan Momcilovic comes to Kentucky, I mean, we were excited about Kobe Brea, and I think maybe Kobe Brea had more in his bag towards the end of the season. I don't know, like, because there was a lot put on Kobe Brea as the guy when J-Rob went down, right? And all of a sudden he became an off the dribble guy, get to the cup guy, not just a spot up 3-point shooter, but as a spot up 3-point shooter or even the turnaround mid range game, a la Dirk Nowitzki off one leg. Milan's got a lot in his bag, right? So Kansas. We lose out to Tyron Stokes. But if we get Milan, someone who has more experience, a better shooter, maybe not a better passer, maybe not as much potential as Tyron Stokes, would you say, but Milan's better for Pope's system and better as a full all-around team guy, and the money spent on Milan is better than Tyron Stokes? What would you say about comparing the two of if we lost Tyron but we got Milan? Better for Kentucky or still worse because of what Tyron Stokes could be?
Still worse. I mean, Tyron's just too good to say anything other than he would have been the best option you could have gotten. That being said, if you want to go down the rabbit hole of him being slightly better for the system and maybe not demanding the ball as much and like that kind of thing, sure, you could do that. I think Milan could open up Moreno a little bit better and maybe just help open up the paint, which you all desperately needed. I mean, I was in Rupp for the Indiana game last year where you all just could not hit a three at all. It was awful. And
I was too. Yeah.
it's awful. So I think he would open up that, and you could make that argument maybe. But no, Stokes was the better player. Stokes was the diamond you needed to get.
He don't pass though.
Correct. You don't need him to pass though. That's not what he's there for.
Window, to your point about Milan and Kobe, I think we actually saw it a lot with Coach Pope with Kobe. The ability that Pope was able to draw up like backdoor actions and stuff that you would have never thought Kobe had, but you run actions and then teams are like, okay, we gotta face guard him, or we gotta try to knock him off his spot here, and then Kobe's just bloop right to a back door. I think Pope can get really, really, really creative with a guy like Milan. We saw with Kobe, they're different. Like we saw Kobe operate a lot about a high pick and roll and stuff. Like I don't think Milan's going to be doing that. But in terms of just off-ball actions, Pope can get super, super creative and draw up some good stuff that I think Milan can expand his game than what we've seen the last 2 years. And I think he probably would have expanded his game if he would have went back to Iowa State. He doesn't have Taman Lipsey there with him or Joshua Jefferson. Like you would have tried, Otzelberger probably would have tried to unleash another factor in Milan. So I wanted to, put that in there.
His athleticism worries me. And I do agree with you. When it comes to Tyron Stokes was 1A, and I can't even say Milan is 1B. He's a good option for Kentucky in his system and what we have at the guard spot, what we have in Cam, what we have in Bray, what we have in even McBride at a 4 spot will open up the floor for him, and you won't be able to guard him like Tennessee guarded him in the the Sweet 16. His athleticism does worry me when it comes to Pope did a lot because Kobe Bryant had a lot more in his bag and God-given talent when it comes to just explosiveness. I don't know if Milan has that. He kind of has the slow Euro kind of game to him, super crafty, super talented, but he's not wow athletic, right?
Well, think about this. Zoom's way more athletic than Lamont Butler probably was. Yeah. Alex Wilkins is probably no, never mind. I was going to say
an athlete.
Yeah, I was going to say Usman is a head above heels better athlete than Andrew Carr was. Marino probably a little bit less athletic, maybe the same as Amari Williams. Obviously, Ortega was on that team. Jackson Robinson was pretty athletic as well. But then you look at the bench, Ainsley Almanor was not very athletic. Cam Williams is very athletic. Braden Hawthorne's very athletic. Travis Perry, not a great athlete. Kentucky has athletes. I mean, Milan probably would be the worst quote unquote athlete on the team. And I don't think he's necessarily a horrendous athlete. There's more athleticism and more versatility around him than probably what we saw year one with Kobe and that first Pope team.
One thing I think that's being undersold is you have this Kepnang coming in, and you were talking about off-ball screens and stuff. The dude's huge, and he's going to kind of fill that Diabate role, but I almost think he's going to fill it a little bit better from a standpoint of, and I know this isn't hockey or anything like that, but from a standpoint of having an enforcer on the court. So the part that I like about getting the possibility of Momcilovic is that the guy's been in college for a while, as opposed to Tyron Stokes. Tyron Stokes is going to say something in the first game to start fight. That's just what's going to happen. But
against Kentucky in the Champions Classic.
But as soon as he sees Kepnang come off that bench, I guarantee you he gets quiet because he's one of those guys that, and I think he's going to really adapt into his role, and he's a good athlete as well. But he's 25 years old and is
healthy.
Yeah, and he hadn't missed a meal, so that I think people are underselling what his role is going to be because with Malachi last year, if there's a complaint I could have just from a scouting standpoint, it would be that he fatigued pretty quickly. So that I think Kepnang's going to have a lot more of a role on this team than people may be realizing.
Yeah, I think we could see short, quick rotations at that 5 position. I mean, the biggest thing is can Kepnang stay healthy, man? Like, he's had so many injury issues throughout his career. Like, if he could just stay healthy and be
Kentucky, you won't.
Yeah, exactly. He'd probably be hurt in the first game. Hopefully
He's
not.
going to be healthy. I mean,
would.
what Pope got in Frank Kepnang is your I was going to be disrespectful to the young man. I was going to say you got the great value version of let's see, old boy from last year with the knee. You got an explosive 5.
Quaintance?
Yes, and Jaden Quaintance. All right, I'm going to start this over. What Pope got out of Kepnang was a great value version of Jaden Quaintance, right? Like super explosive 5, physical, like Somto Surreal, like something like that. Not super skilled basketball guy, but just, like you said, an enforcer who can go up there and get a putback, lob, just like you're not going to bully this kid around. And to your point, Ryan, I just said kid, but he looks 35.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a grown man down there.
My man's probably got a mortgage. That's
yeah.
He's up there.
He's but like he's gonna have that physical presence down low, and if he can stay healthy or get healthy, I do think he's gonna be value added for this team and provide a physicality that some of the Pope teams have missed. But we spent a lot of time talking Kentucky. You said top 5 Tennessee team. It's God, that sounds so gross. But while they did great in the portal, going back to how Coach Ryan started the show, great team so far, but tell me how they disappoint Knoxville and don't get a Final Four.
I mean, they disappoint Knoxville by not playing defense. I know it's going to be a shock to hear that, but this is an offensive first team. I mean, just going down, like you've got Terrence Hill, Day-Day Ames, Juke Harris. Like that backcourt is gonna be just absolutely elite. But I again worry that they won't be able to put it together defensively. And honestly, if Tennessee doesn't make a Final Four at this point, they might just be cursed. It might be time for Barnes to just hang it up and move on, and then curse be legit. I mean, I like Rubin down low, but overall, this is just a really deep roster, and they're one of my top 3 or 4 teams from the portal. I haven't put out my rankings yet, but top 3 or 4 portal teams in the country this year.
All right, Hammer, floor is yours.
What Hunter said.
Banner.
The thing is, Rick Barnes is going to make them play defense, right? So, like, there's going to be a connectivity with the team. They have a whole offseason. Or do you think this is a team that Rick Barnes just says, hey, if we can score, like, there's the rule of 71, but, like, if we can score 89 points a game, we will win more than we lose?
If he's he is a good coach, don't get me wrong, but if he's a smart coach in today's era, he's going to let them score 90 points a game and just try to win 90 to 75 or whatever it comes down to. Yeah, you need to be able to get a stop on defense. I mean, look at what they did to Milan that we just talked about in Chicago this year. But at the same time, I mean, they've got like 7 different guys that averaged double figures last year. Several of them are coming from high majors. Several of them are proven. I mean, Terrence Hill is going to go be a bucket wherever he's at. Juke Harris coming from Wake Forest averaged 21 points. Like, these guys are going to be stars. You just have to let them go out and play.
Yeah, and we've talked about it as well, Hunter, you and I, and Rando, you and I. So we can all talk about it together. If you play for Rick Barnes, you play defense. That just comes with the package.
Yeah.
And I know Coach Barnes well enough that that's already been discussed prior to these guys signing their agreement to play. So they understand that they will have to put forth effort. Now, it won't be the Jemai Meshack, Zakai Ziegler, Felix Okpara, Triple J. It won't be that kind of defense. It will be good enough defense that if they need to lock somebody up, i.e. Your Mom Chilovich homie there that they basically erased in the second half.
He's got to come here first. Let's be clear about that. We got to
sure, yeah, absolutely.
It's not a foregone conclusion.
It's not an absolute, yeah. But anyway, they'll play enough defense.
I'm clipping the small part where Hunter said he's going to be that.
I already warned
It's
Hunter.
getting clipped.
I've
I
already
was
warned
warned.
Hunter.
I was warned. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah. So, they'll play enough. And I think that the majority of the teams that they will see, save maybe, I don't know, maybe Alabama. I don't know that you want to get into a 3-point shooting contest with those jokers just because that's how Turd Muffin Nate Oates plays. Like he runs out there and shoots 100 threes and, law of averages, he's going to score 90 points because 30% of them are going to go in, right? So you do have those rare one-offs, but I don't really see anybody is going to be able to just flat out outscore this team. And if they can play just good enough defense to keep people from going on long runs and breaking any type of, hot shooter, whatnot, then this team is going to be fine. They'll go deep. I mean, good grief, we've gone to 3 straight Elite Eights with basically one scoring option for the last three years. So I hope this is the year, if for Tennessee just as much as for Rick Barnes, that he can get this monkey off his back as well, because he's just not been that good enough to get there. And I think that this is Final Four or bust. It really is. If we don't make a Final Four this year with this team, then stop funding the damn basketball program, put $50 million into football, and screw all the other club sports. Let's just go play football. That's what we are as a football school anyway. So we just need to send Deacon Barnes out whenever that is. I'm not suggesting this is his last year, but Father Time is undefeated. So at some point, Rick Barnes in the near future is gonna call it a career. We need to do it for him as much as we need it for us.
I'll go on record here and say that I think this is his last year. The way he's recruited, the way that they've bought into the program.
I agree, Hunter.
I thought this year was his last year. I don't think he liked how he went out, and I think that he came back for one more year, but I do think this is his last year. I've heard that from a couple different people as well. So,
yeah, I think had they made the Final Four this year, had they gotten by Michigan, I think we would be having a totally different conversation about Tennessee basketball right now. Yep. And I think whether he does or doesn't do it this coming season, gun to my head, I had to make a pick. I would say he hangs it up.
Yeah.
So you talked about the depth of Tennessee. You talked about like how talented they are and double-digit point per game scores. All of them, all these guys were dudes. So my question to Hammer a couple of weeks ago was like, how do they mesh, right? Like Juke's a prime. Like all these guys were meant to be they were the dudes at their school, right? And I think Terrence Hill, T mentioned, was a 6th man, so like maybe he's kind of used to coming off the bench and doing the thing. But how do they mesh? Like there's one ball. Pope talked about how he recruited guys who were 30% plus assists per game guys. Yeah. These guys that Tennessee have aren't that. So like, how do they share it in one guy being a 15 to 17 point per game scorer and the rest kind of take a back seat?
Yeah, so one thing I didn't mention about UK, just going to circle back real quick, is they had multiple guys with 5+ assists a game, Zoom, and then the kid from Furman as well. I think that also, that'll help open up the paint and help negate some of that lack of athleticism with Milan that we potentially talked about. Just throwing that in there. But back to Tennessee, I mean, these guys know what they came into. They know that all of these guys were the dude at their team. And I mean, Hill, he was a 6th man, but I mean, he was also putting up 30 points in the A10 tournament. So it's not like he wasn't on the court more than he was off of it. They bought in. I mean, I know Day Ames was heavily involved with Xavier, heavily involved with Tennessee, and it was a very tight recruitment. Tennessee sold them on the vision of going to the championship, going and winning a title this year. So I think they've gotten these guys in and they're just buying in that, hey, one game it's going to be Hill, one game it's going to be Harris. Like it's just going to be somebody every different night. And they're okay with sharing the wealth as long as they can show their potential and get to the promised land for Tennessee fans.
Yeah. My last question for you regarding Tennessee is we know how Rick Barnes coaches and it's defense first. And I know he coached a little bit different at Texas when he had dudes like Kevin Durant. But another question I had, when you bring in a whole new kind of roster that's built different, is like you still got to have dudes like to coach these guys to get to where like system changing, Rick Barnes changing his mold. do they have a dude who can be offensive focused first? The Deacon has to or can he go back to his Texas roots? Talk through with the staff, and can what Rick Barnes and his staff do actually get to a offensive minded first, instead of we have one scorer, get him the ball, and everybody else play defense, hope we can keep a team from scoring 65 plus points.
Yeah, so I mean, if he didn't have the experience and he had been forever a defensive coach his entire life and didn't have KD and the Texas tenure, sure, I'd probably be a little bit more concerned. But I mean, you bring in guys, you have a whole offseason with them. It's time to start planning. These guys, when you scout them, you've had assistants scouting them for months, and it's not like these are just spur of the moment commitments that you're just oh yeah, I guess I'll take them. So yeah, it's a little bit of a concern, but at the same time, they've sold these guys on visions. They've told these guys, hey, this is what we're going to do. And these guys have to go out there and do it. Coaches are, I don't want to say GMs now, but coaches are a little bit more like a GM. And yeah, you have to put in the play and you have to keep guys on track, make subs, that kind of thing. But really, you just sell them on a vision. You get them here, you get your system implemented, and you go. So I don't think it'll be too hard to move it over.
And, do you know why teams ran veer offenses in football back in the 50s and 60s, maybe even 70s? Because they didn't have a very good offensive line.
Fair.
When you don't have prolific scorers, you focus on the thing you can control, and that's defensive play. So I think Coach Barnes' shift towards defense has been more based on the roster build rather than his coaching style. Because if you go back to the late 2010s with Admiral and Grant and company, then you still saw good defense. I mean, he's always going to coach defense, but you also saw more prolific scoring. So I think it's based on he's playing the cards that can't really say got dealt because he recruited them, but you got to dance with who brung you. So yeah, and I think he's great at getting the most out of his roster and knowing how to manage that to a very high level.
Correct. And you talked a little bit about you all being a football school. You haven't had the resources for the basketball program. I'm not saying it's an underfunded
Never
program,
had the resources, legal or otherwise.
It's not like they've had the roster to go get all of this stuff when it was illegal. Barnes had to adapt to that. It's easier to recruit a kid that wants to play defense to high major than it is to recruit somebody over Kentucky when they want to go play offense and go to the NBA. So he did have to adapt a little bit. But, I mean, you look at it, the 18-19 teams were top 40 offenses. And, I mean, even 2025's team was a top 18 offense in the country. So it's not like they're a crazy, terrible offensive team. They've just been a little bit closer on the defensive side. So I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. Of anything I'm not concerned about is a Rick Barnes team playing defense. So bring me all the scorers, please. Thank you.
I agree.
Man, I missed that Jordan Burks committed to Oklahoma State.
I didn't know he was still in college, so I applaud him for continuing his education.
Listen, Jordan Burks was one of my favorite dudes at Kentucky, man. Like he was the one with he would frustrate me when Cal was like, he would say every single time he was behind a podium after a game, I got to find a way to get Jordan Burks more minutes. I got to find a way. He just goes and fights and give him more minutes. The dude was he was a high motor guy, defense, could score the ball. Super frustrating. And then he goes to UCF. Well, I think Georgetown, then UCF, became a bucket at UCF really, and now he's at Oklahoma State. He was a guy that I would have liked at Kentucky. Now, if we get Milan over him at that 3 spot, Mo better. But I really did like Jordan Burks.
Yeah, it also would have been hard to get him back when you have Cam Williams and Braden Hawthorne.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of dudes that kind of match his same play type.
There was a long game there. But he was a good kid. He always played hard, like you said. I remember the Vanderbilt game. He had a big time game and big time dunk in that game. The Vanderbilt team was horrible under Jerry Stackhouse, but one more year I guess at Oklahoma State. I wouldn't have. You could have gave me 100 guesses where he went. I wouldn't have guessed Oklahoma State, but good luck to him.
They seem to be just. I mean, they have money clearly because they pull these big guys either out of the portal or through recruiting. So they got they got money to be able to land one or two. They're not building full rosters clearly, but they're able to grab some talent out of the portal. And
they just made a huge investment in their football program too, with their coach and him bringing his quarterback and running back over who are young. So maybe some good things are happening down there in Stillwater.
I think they'll be all right. They've brought in a handful of transfers. I mean, some of the guys from Sam Houston will be so like 50-50, but I mean, Julius Halifonia from Georgetown and then Burks, that's a great front court to kind of build around there. So they'll be all right.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna come back to Kentucky, Tennessee basketball at the end of the show, but we also have an expert. We have Coach Ryan, Hunter Sampson, the Irish Hammer, here to talk postseason baseball. So go ahead, take over the show, because I know nothing about the baseball thing. So if I start talking, you completely know it's bullshit. So you got to take over the show when it comes to postseason baseball and tell me why Kentucky may get in the last four in, because we need some bat cats in the postseason.
Yeah, so it's going to come down to the RPI. You know, I've jokingly called Nick Mingione the RPI wizard in the past, but it's true, man. Like when you look at the way he schedules it, it's frustrating as hell coming into every season, and it seems like it's such a cupcake schedule. But then you hit the SEC and you're reminded, you're like, oh, like this is the SEC. Because for like how often the SEC gets clowned for saying that it's superior conference, like notice nobody's mentioning that in baseball. Like the last six champions of the NCAA tournament have been from the SEC, and that's not a coincidence. So I kind of think, and I wrote in a column earlier this week that I was talking about, you know, that this team is intriguing because they can beat anybody, but they can literally lose to anybody as well. So like you could put them against, you know, Northern Kentucky University and say they lost, and I'd be like, well, yeah, I can see that. Or you could put them against Georgia Tech and say they won by 8. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, that could happen too. So it's crazy with this team in particular. And college baseball is it's its own thing. It's sloppy. But it's crazy. Just the floor and ceiling with this team is just incredible. That it's like, you know, Nick Mingione will tell you, hey, we've beaten the best teams in the country. And it's like, well, yeah, but I've seen you give up 12 runs in the top of the first inning. Mississippi State burned 3 pitchers as well. So, or Arkansas, I'm sorry. And it's like, so which are you? Because, you know, the way Kentucky ended the season, and I mentioned Northern for a reason, because I'm counting that as a loss where they canceled that game because the NCAA sent a clear message, hey, don't do this. And Kentucky was like, watch me. And you know, that this could be an opportunity if the NCAA wants to take it to say, okay, you want to do that, you're not in. And then it sends a very clear message. But I think they're ultimately going to be in, just with the way the conference tournaments are shaking out. But I don't like living on the bubble at all.
Well, Kentucky has a Mercer problem because Mercer that's a stolen bid out of that conference. And Mercer has a higher RPI than Kentucky.
Yeah.
Mercer's 28th. I think Kentucky's 37th, if I recall, the last time I looked at it. And them not getting their automatic bid for their conference, I think that's a big blow, because at the end of last week, when we kind of talked about it on the show, I sort of went in, and I am no bracketologist, okay? The man right there to my lower right is the guy, but I kind of scribbled out a few things on paper, and I actually had East Carolina, Kentucky, NC State, and Pitt as the last 4 in, with Mercer the first 4 out. With Mercer losing, I think they may – or excuse me, yeah, with Mercer getting knocked out of their conference tournament, I think they snatched that bid back from Kentucky, since Kentucky didn't win a game in the conference tournament. I think that was – we talked about that too, that I think it really behooved them to win at least one game. And – I think it's going to end up biting them, because I think Texas State now gets in. I think Mercer's going to get in. A little bit longer shot, I think maybe Troy, Kent State, even though Kent got bounced. but they still have a good RPI, good record against Power 5 teams. So, but you're right, Coach. I mean, anything's possible. We don't know how it's going to be, how it's going to be perceived and evaluated, and what win or what team may carry more weight than another. I think this is a little bit more arbitrary and subjective versus the NCAA. But yeah, I really, at this point, I think the bubble may have popped, and that's not me putting bad juju on y'all. I'm just calling it like I see it.
I mean, yeah,
higher RPI than Tennessee too, so I ain't just blowing smoke up their skirt. It's
not looking good, and that I said, I think I said it on Tuesday that Kentucky getting bounced that early in the tournament before the contenders have even packed the bus and gone to Hoover, so that you're not only, and then you have teams like Pitt that are still winning, but not only are you banking all this on the selection committee, you're not playing baseball right now. Yeah. And for those of you in Lexington, the weather has been just atrocious. So I know they're not outside taking batting practice. So this is a team that could come in, even if they make it, really cold, ice cold. And it's just the ways that this team gives away games. They did it in the SEC tournament. I mean, they literally will get up by 5 runs, and you're sitting there like, okay, like they've got it. Surely they've got it. Then you go to the bathroom and come back, and they're down 2. And it's like, what happened? And it's just frustrating. It all comes down to pitching, really. I mean, it's not you can clown on the errors and all that, but it's pitching. I mean, they've shown they can score runs. That's not the problem. It's that Jackson Jelkin is the only starting pitcher with any kind of pulse right now.
Yeah. Good pitching always beats good hitting 80% of the time. So,
yeah. And Kentucky's like not even effectively wild. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that pitch at Florida. The dude threw it into like the 5th row over the batting cage, and it wasn't really even wet. And I'm just like, it's a concentration thing at that point, because like I'll sit there at these games and watch them just pluck batter after batter after batter. And it's like, dude, throw it outside. Like, it's not that hard. Throw it outside. Like, at least don't hit him, because I can't tell you how many times this year, and usually Kentucky's the one doing this, but I can't tell you how many times this year they'd load up the bases and then boom, right in the middle of the back on the next guy, walk in an unearned run. I mean, it happens every damn game. Sorry, that gets me fired up.
I will add, though, on Mercer front, nobody's ever missed a tournament with the kind of metrics they have, if you're a believer in like precedence or whatever. But both Baseball America and D1 Baseball have Kentucky in right now, just barely, like either 62nd or 63rd team in. And then one of them has Mercer in, one has Mercer out. But why is Pittsburgh in? Can anybody with more baseball knowledge tell me why Pitt's in?
They're a good story right now.
Okay.
That they won one in their conference tournament. They were down to like the last out, hit a home run to win the game by 1. So they're kind of like a little Cinderella story a little bit. The thing that bothers me is that, Kentucky 63rd, 64th, whatever, you're going to end up with a team like Georgia Tech, or you're going to end up with a team like UCLA. That it's just like there's no, even if you were to get past like some automatic conference bid, if you get lucky, there's just no chance that you're going to beat Georgia Tech, UCLA. I mean, Arkansas, Florida's hot right now, and in a series, and it because of pitching. That was a starting pitcher that threw it over the batter's thing into the 5th row. That was a starting pitcher, and it's like, even the year they made the College World Series, I said that pitching was their weakness, but it was a lot better than this. All 3 of those guys were drafted, and Jelkin's the only one that will even sniff the MLB right now on the entire pitching staff. Unless the others buy a ticket. I don't know.
Dude, that you keep making me laugh bringing up that pitch, because that video.
We just gotta get in. I don't care who we play. We could beat those nerds at Georgia Tech. I ain't worried about.
You don't watch baseball, do you, Rando?
Nope. I said that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well,
I just know those super engineered nerds. They can't play baseball. I imagine.
Yeah. If they were to get in, I think they land in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
That ain't good either.
Okay.
Yeah, that ain't good.
The Florida State play?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Oklahoma State would probably be in that region as well, and that's another problem. Of course, Binghamton could be a problem if Kentucky's pitching isn't on par, and that's the thing is
you're not wrong.
To get, I mean, seriously, right, Coach? I mean, anybody can beat anybody. So let's caveat.
Let me ask you. I heard I was.
But you got to have pitching to go far in this thing. You can have all the batters in the world. You got to have pitching. So what are you
I was
saying?
Listening while I was putting the baby girl down or saying goodnight. But I heard y'all kept saying like Kentucky, and then Hamber, you said there's a Mercer problem. One thing that when we had Coach Evans on a couple weeks back, when or this might have even been last Saturday, we were talking about postseason of baseball. He was like, "There's SEC baseball, and there's everybody else. Like it's SEC baseball head shoulders." So do we not get a bump over a team like Mercer when it comes to like, yes, our win-loss percentage, RPI, whatever the hell other things you all were talking about beforehand, but like we're still playing SEC ball. We're on the bubble. We get a bump over Mercer because they're playing in wherever the hell they're playing in the conference-wise. Like we had to play against studs through conference play half the season.
Did you watch SEC football this past fall?
Yeah, I did.
Arkansas played SEC football last year.
Sure, okay, we're not. You're gonna call Kentucky baseball Arkansas football?
No, I'm
I think Kentucky baseball
Arkansas played
Tennessee
what?
I think the Batcats went 2-for-1 against Tennessee.
Yeah, and the basketball team went 2-0 against Tennessee. How'd the postseason go?
But what about
but we got in.
Like, referring to basketball, like March Madness, like we've seen in the past, like SEC teams would get on the bubble that probably don't deserve to be in there. Like people were having conversations about Auburn this past year making the tournament. They're barely over 500.
Yeah,
Same
they
with
shouldn't have
Oklahoma.
been in. Yeah, shouldn't have been in.
No, they shouldn't.
No,
have.
they didn't get
That's
in.
a different conversation.
They shouldn't.
College baseball is a little different. It's a little more cut and dry because you've got it's just a bigger sample size. So mathematically, like you're gonna be able to have a better selection at the field, and it's really obvious. Like and I'm not trying to insult Kentucky when I say this, but they're the 14th or 15th best team in the SEC. That's just the way it is. So you have to determine whether you want a conference of 16 putting 15 teams into the tournament, and what kind of message that would be sending would be good for the SEC, but it would be terrible for every other conference. But
yeah,
the
get 11 or 12 as it is.
Yeah, so you kind of want the NCAA. I can see both sides of it. So like I can see Nick Mingione saying like, "Hey, we beat some good teams. We've got some great prospects. We can play good and all this." Like I see it. But I also see the point to where it's like, dude, you guys could lose by 10 in the first two games on like a Tuesday at 2:00 and be out before the tournament even started. So like, it's one thing almost like I don't think Kentucky, people bring up, I heard on KSR, which I don't know why I was listening to that, but I heard on KSR, they were talking about, well, Murray State made a run last year. It's not happening. All right, it's not happening. I would put the mortgage in my house down that Kentucky would not make the College World Series this year. I don't think they'll even make a Super Regional. They just don't. Like Hammer was saying, they just don't have the pitching. They literally will have. They'll throw Jackson Jelk in game one. They'll throw him to the 8th inning. He'll have about 120 pitches. His arm will look like it's about to fall off, and then he'll have to sit. And then even if they win another game, what are you going to do the next one? Throw the guy that threw it into the 5th row? Like, no. So it's like they're not going anywhere. This would be like saying that the 2020. Well, no, it's not that bad. It would be like, you remember that last Billy Gillispie year, Rando?
Yes.
It would be kind of like saying that team was going to the Final Four. Could they? I mean, maybe, but that also just the likelihood and the smart money's on no. And I'm not saying that they're discombobulated like that team was. We all know Billy Gillispie was crazy, but that when it's this baseball team, they just like Tyler Bell's good, Jason Tarnish is good, Jackson Jokin's good. That's about it. So, like when you have guys that are going to play at that next level, when you look at these SEC rosters, the SEC opened up with over 80 players on MLB opening day rosters. And Kentucky right now only has one guy that I think has a legitimate shot to play meaningful MLB games, and that's Tyler Bell. And so, you're going to run into teams like Georgia Tech who've got 6 of those. So it's or Florida State that's got 5. So it's one of those things that it's like eventually, I understand baseball can be weird and you have the series and all that. Like I get it, but talent matters as well. And when you've got in the SEC, when you've got pitchers that are starters that their fastball's sitting on 89, it's just not enough. It's just you're going to get shelled. I mean, 89 is if you're putting this in basketball terms, 89 would be like playing it like Dayton.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of 89-mile-an-hour fastballs, we might be 14th in the SEC, but we do have the best clip in baseball, at least college baseball, this postseason, or I guess season. We gotta. You've seen this, and Hammer, I know you like dunking on Vandy. I'm just going to go ahead and play this for you. Pat McAfee Show, shout out to you. Let me steal your clip here, but this is their Oh No segment. I'm going to
the bat of the week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We call this segment.
You haven't seen it.
Oh, no! Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, shall we? Saw Jared Curtis, the future of the Commodores. Let's look at the current baseball. This guy pitching, Connor Fennell. He's throwing 89 miles an hour.
Play with some movement, and he wants them to put it in play because most of them are weak.
Take it on Kentucky.
And here's Carson Hansen.
Hoover, Alabama.
Oh, you're effing mine, he says. You're effing mine, he says.
I like the energy. I like what he's doing. Fennell's intense. Carson Hansen said, "What was that? How about you fucking watch this?
Pop come all the way at the wall. It's
Carson
Hansen.
You know what that was? That was God's payback to the Vandy Whistler, who should have to have his vocal cords removed because it never stops. And that pitcher right there, if the Vandy Whistler was a baseball player, would be that pitcher. So that I'd love to see it because as nerdy as they are in like basketball, they are so obnoxious. They are the Kentucky basketball of college baseball. They are so obnoxious that it's just constant. And it's not like fun constant either, like Kentucky. It's like cursing at other players constant. Like, and it's like, okay, like, are we playing baseball or like what are we going on? Like, so good on Carson Hansen for taking him Oppo Taco there.
Yeah, and yeah, Peabody baseball fan thinks the sport was invented in that dump in the west end of Nashville.
It is a dump.
Dump. D-U-M-P. Dump.
So if you're a first-time listener, you should know I'm a massive Pat McAfee fan. So I got PMS on. I am able to wire my work TV and have a circumvent on, so I have it on the big thing through. Even though I got the Marine Corps network, I can still watch Pat McAfee on. That's my background noise, right? So if I'm doing some work, PMS is on, and I see him talk about Kentucky baseball, I'm like locked in. I hadn't seen that clip, and then I see him go, and then Ty Schmidt, who's like one of the guys on the show with him, and he was like, "Listen, dude, if you got 89-mile-an-hour fastball stuff, maybe you don't talk shit like you got 103-mile-an-hour fastball stuff, right?"
You're not knowing right. Let's calm down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Before we went to that clip, metrics in baseball they're all relative. It's not like, oh, he was good, but he was good in, group of 5 play or whatever. If you've got 95 and a 4-inch drop on your slider, then you've got 95 and a 4-inch drop on your slider. It doesn't matter what ballpark you throw that in. Ain't nobody hitting that shit. So these metrics, the pitching metrics and all, that's ranked throughout. That's not just based on level of competition. It is to a degree because some guys in college struggle with a certain type of pitch or pitcher, but that's true at every level. You got guys who can't hit curveballs that play, AA and AAA ball for 15 years and never can hit a curveball. So yes, that is, but it's much more correlated in baseball than it is in, say, football or basketball, when we've got, like Miami of Ohio came in and everybody was, we got to play Miami of Ohio. They're going to kill us. I said we beat them by 30.
It's just
on this
not
show,
going to
I
happen.
said we will destroy them. Yeah, because it's a different kind of, 31-1 or whatever stupid number they came in here with. Not so much in baseball. So that's why the pitching is going to be pitching will go or Kentucky will go. I'll get this out in a second. Will go as far as their pitching can take them, and unfortunately, that doesn't appear to be very far. And this again, I'm not jabbing at you, Rando. I'm just telling you facts.
Peanut Butter Posse, who's a frequent commenter on the show, shout out, appreciate you.
I mean, it's a cool stat. It's a fact.
But it's not a factor. Doesn't matter.
If ifs, ands, and buts were candy and nuts, every day would be Christmas. And that
Merry Christmas, Peanut Butter.
Kentucky, yes, they lost most of those games. But if you even look back at the COVID basketball season, just bringing it back into basketball, they didn't lose a bunch of those games by a ton, but they lost.
Yeah.
So you're not going to remember that you lost by one run.
Yeah.
It's did you win or did you lose? And Kentucky has too many of the did you lose. Now, did they have the opportunity to win a bunch of games? Yeah, they had the opportunity to be a top 10 team in the country this year, easily.
Yeah, but Tennessee got walked off 4 straight games, and 3 of them were those fuckers in Nashville. So believe me, I know all about what could have, should have, would have been. I'm with you, brother. I feel it. Are we live? Is this on the air?
Yeah, I can't stand the Vandy boys either. I think me and him are going to bond over that.
I'm not sure which air it's on, but it's in the air.
The Vandy boys are terrible, man. If there was a roster full of Christian Leitners in college baseball, they would play for Vanderbilt.
Yep. Yeah, Florida is 1, Bama is 1A, and Peabody is 1B-A. Like, I hate those fuckers. I can't stand them.
It's fair. That being said, y'all talking about the west end of Nashville.
Dump.
The main piece of Nashville, Broadway, that's my favorite city in the whole world. I would live there. I would be bankrupt and I would have gotten a lot of trouble. But I spent some time in Vegas. Nashville, 10x better than Vegas.
Oh, no.
Oh, I 100%. I would absolutely. That place is for me for sure. In the daytime, they're playing hip hop on the balcony, and at nighttime, we're playing country music. Like, I can live in that range, brother. Like, that's 100% all me. The problem is my pockets ain't deep enough to actually live there, because you walk up to the bar and it's $60 when you leave. Like, you got 3 people you got to buy drinks for. When's
the last time you were in Vegas?
They get into you in Vegas.
When I moved out here, so let's see, it was 2026, so 2024, we rolled out. I went to Guy Fieri's spot and we walked around a little bit. I haven't done like Vegas, like single Vegas, or even like, Vegas without kid Vegas. But I would still pick Nashville over Vegas.
And what are we basing this on? The girls or the activities or because seriously, because if you're basing it on women, you need to turn in your damn Viagra card right now, because you have lost your damn mind if you think the women are better in Nashville than they are in Vegas.
Well, I think it depends on how you like them. Okay. And a little on the trashy
There's 3
side.
things that you look at on a woman, Rando. So I'm telling you, it's better in Vegas. I was just there. I used to live in Nashville, so I know what I'm talking about here.
I'm saying, well, again, don't judge me for how I like them.
I'm not judging you.
2, I'm just saying, and I told you, like, I went when I was in Nashville. We were on the bar outside on the roof, and we were listening. We were hip hop. We were grooving. We were doing the thing. And then at night we rolled down and we went to Blake Shelton's joint, and we went Florida Georgia Line joint. And now we're like country music jumping. It was a great time. Me personally, I'm picking Nashville or Vegas.
Have you been to Nashville in the last 2 years? Have you been in the last 2 years?
Ooh, when did I go to Nashville? It was 2022.
It's amazing. Even there's cranes everywhere in Nashville, but it's amazing. Nashville.
Oh, because they're building a new arena. It's
they're building everything. They're building everything.
Oh,
yeah.
But to me, Nashville feels. I remember Nashville of the 2000s and stuff. That was a lot different. Then Nashville feels very. I don't know. I'm not trying to strike a chord here. Very California-y to me now.
Really?
It's a different vibe down there. It's very like. Have you ever been to like a Morgan Wallen concert where you'll have dudes that are like, I've listened to Morgan Wallen, and that must mean that I need to wear boots and everything else, even though I've never been on a farm in my life. Or same dudes had to have Salt Life stickers on the back of their truck, and they live in Somerset, Kentucky.
The hipsters that wear Carhartt.
Yeah, that's Nashville now. So that it's
sounds like you're describing me at the moment, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, I don't like you're at least a Marine. Like these, I'm talking about accountants, dude. Like that are like have like these shoes that probably are like $2,000 on, and like here goes. They'll go play like a cover band will play like some George Jones or something. Nothing, but then they'll play Three Doors Down. The place goes wild.
No, these jokers listen to Coldplay. Don't even. Three Doors Down better. These are Coldplay guys.
Oh, I would say I hope it hasn't got ruined. Dirk's Bentley joint in Nashville was that I had so much fun in that spot. Dirk's Bentley's joint was a lot of fun. Florida Georgia Line was a good time. Jason Aldean's place was disappointing because like it was just a tourist attraction, unfortunately. Like we actually went up Luke Bryan's bar to the very top, and then we snuck our way into Jason Aldean's spot. And when we got in there, we realized it was not country at all. Like I was listening to like Nelly and like Tupac and stuff. It was not country at all.
Post Malone has a bar down there right now.
Yeah.
Oh, but Post Malone's country now.
He is.
Ish.
Enough.
All right, enough.
Post Malone's something.
We do have to do a all UK ball, border rivals, heavy port sports. We got to get to Nashville for the SEC tournament basketball. It's got to be a thing.
Yeah,
I think that would be a blast.
It would be a great time. Hey, Hammer, and you know what's funny? You know what got the attention of Riley Green last basketball season?
What's that?
My video when I changed the lyrics of his song, and I was talking about how. It's nice to beat the hell out of Tennessee. Rupp Arena, beating the hell out of Tennessee. My angelic voice. It got a like from Riley Green and a DM saying like, dude, hilarious. And I was like, let's get into your bar, duck blind so let's maybe work that angle.
Yeah, why not? We also got to get to Nashville for the Super Bowl. In a few years.
In 2030 or something like that, right?
2030, yeah.
I feel like there's enough people, and I am not meaning this in any type of way for those of you watching. Like, I am not meaning this in any type of way. I feel like
I'm already offended.
I feel like there's enough people that watch this show in the great state of Kentucky, of which I am one of, that probably have a connection to Jelly Roll and probably could figure out how to get us into Jelly Roll's bar. Because I know that he used to do, back when he was rapper Jelly Roll, I know he used to play all these places around Lexington that are just, I wouldn't go in them, but they that he used to play those. And, so there's got to be somebody in Kentucky that has an in with Jelly Roll. He's from Nashville. It's not that far away. I know, like, saying Morgan Wallen, that might be like a little bit more of a push, but I feel like Jelly Roll would be doable.
Maybe Jelly Roll's doable. I mean,
he'd be as good of a shot as Riley Green. I don't know. Maybe maybe I need to get a face tat or something. I don't know.
You know who might do it? Willie Cauley-Stein. I'm sure he might know.
There you go. I'm sure they're in like a Facebook group for face tats.
Face tats. Oh, that's 100% profiling. We don't do that on this show. Anyways, let's move on.
hey, before we move on, I'm just throwing this out there so you're aware. Since it's just me and my tag team partner's not here, I have a Mount Rushmore of UK football players. Keep 4, cut 6. Whenever you want to do that.
Ooh, okay. We're gonna end that show that way.
It's your show. You tell me.
No, it's our show. But I will tell you. Here we go. So, all right. So we are we're rolling through. It's NBA playoff time frame. We talked about the draft, combine fallout. But I would like to get everybody's ball knowledge on what we got going on right here. Spurs OKC series. I was hoping the Spurs were going to take the advantage, at home with San Antonio and Wemby. I'm full on the Spurs trains. I want to see De'Aaron Fox and Keldon get a chip. Shea already got one. But how do y'all feel this is East and West is going to play out? And in my personal opinion, whoever wins the West is going to win the thing. Do you disagree with maybe the Knicks giving the Spurs or OKC a fight? But let's
I think the Knicks
out. Go ahead.
Pretty good. I think the Knicks are looking pretty good. That everybody's that you'll turn it on First Take anything, and you'll see them just crowning whoever's going to win the West. And I don't know, man, because like when you watch Shea, like and I understand that I'm a member of BBN saying this, the guy does fall a lot. Like he falls down a lot, and I've noticed that in this playoffs, especially as it's progressed, he's not getting those calls. So if you've got him not getting those calls, I think it makes it a little more interesting. Now, one thing I would like to see just from a standpoint of X's and O's is I don't understand why they're not playing completely through Wemby. And because I think he's a lot better than Chet Holmgren. I really do. And I think that Wemby has enough athleticism to separate himself from Chet where he could put, 40 up on him. And that I think that's the deciding factor. So I think they need to get Wemby into that killer mentality, like that Mamba mentality that Kobe used to get, where it's like, no, you give me this ball and I'm going to put it in that basket. I'm not passing to y'all. Sorry. Like that's kind of what he needs to do. But I kind of think, I think the Knicks have as good of they're as hot as anybody right now. And I mean, they've just really kind of shoved Cleveland in a locker, quite frankly, the last 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, they're about to go up 3-0. They're going to be well rested as well, which has to play in the finals. Wemby should not have 26, 4, and 3 against the Thunder. I agree, Ryan. That's just not a good enough performance out of him. So they've got to change some things up. But I think the West wins it, but I don't think it'll be a sweep like other people are saying.
If De'Aaron Fox misses time, this series is over.
Yeah,
I think this series is ramping up to be over anyways. I think we've seen the Thunder. They've made some adjustments. I think Shea, he kind of struggled in game 1, but I think the last 2 games he's got going. And you see Jalen Williams hit like 5 or 6 threes last night. Kayson's playing very well. Jared McCain's playing very well. I just think the Thunder are too much. The Spurs have to win tomorrow night.
Yeah.
If they don't, this series is over. They're not beating the Thunder 3 games in a row. So they have to win tomorrow night. I think if the Spurs can win the series, I think the finals would be very interesting because I think the Knicks can beat the Spurs for sure. If the Thunder come out of the West, the Thunder are winning it again, probably in like 5 games, I think. they have a lot of answers for Brunson, and their size is going to affect Brunson as well as. I mean, they could throw Shea on Brunson. They could put Kaysen in the starting lineup and have him guard. They have options, and Cat will have Chet or Hartenstein guarding him as well, and like that's going to be a tough matchup for either because Chet's length, his size, his athleticism, his versatility, and then if they put Hartenstein on him, his physicality on Cat will make it hard. And I just don't think the Knicks are very talented. They're the best team clearly in the East. That doesn't mean, they can compete against the best of the West and with the Thunder. So I think we're setting up for the Thunder to go back to back, but we'll see.
Welcome Giannis to the Knicks.
Yeah, I think Knicks or the Celtics probably. If they're going to make a move, I think the Celtics would get aggressive there. Maybe potentially trading Jaylen Brown away for him to have his own organization, kind of his own team. It seems like
crazy to say if the Celtics get Jaylen Brown, trade away Giannis, they win that trade. I just think you can do more with the Celtics. I think you can do more with with what he can do. Jaylen Brown is a true number one guy. He can shoot. He can do all the things. Giannis is limited. I understand.
Wait, are you saying the Celtics win the trade or the Bucks win the trade?
The Bucks win the trade. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I would agree.
It's not what you were saying. It was how you said it that I wouldn't connected with
Don't
you.
blame me.
I'm not blaming anybody. Words are hard. We know.
I don't
Words
think
are hard.
I don't think it would be a straight up trade. I think there would be
no way would that be a straight up trade.
I
That would
think
be
there would
multi.
be-
No, it wouldn't be straight. But I'm just saying, like when it rolls down, the
Multiplayer,
players are the
multi-team.
thing. And
longevity wise, I mean, let's keep it real too. Jaylen Brown's got a lot more years under him than Giannis does as well. So
Giannis also, people don't like to say it because he's, a nice guy, he's from overseas, all this, and his story's good. Giannis can be a problem a little bit. That Giannis has an ego.
Yes.
And that it can, under the wrong organization, that can be a massive, massive problem. So, that I think Milwaukee may be looking at it as a point like, okay, dude, like, we'll go get somebody else. Like that we're just kind of, that we've had you for over 10 years now, that it's just, we're kind of done with it. So that with him, it kind of makes me to the point that almost the Spurs should go get like an enforcer. Like maybe Giannis needs somebody on the team that's not has the last name of Antetokounmpo that can mellow him out some, because it seems like during the regular season, every 2 weeks he's on Sports Center saying or doing something stupid. Yeah. So that it's like, that's what gives me pause on the Celtics with him, because, I just don't know if Missoula would put up with it, and I know Brad Stevens wouldn't. Yeah, so that and the issue you're going to have with him going to New York is kind of the same thing. Put that ego in New York, and it's only going to grow. So
and these win now organizations too, like they're not going to make a move unless they're in it, because you bring in a guy like Giannis. First off, you're going to have to get rid of a little bit to, you can't just trade, X role player and a first round pick for Giannis. I mean, you're going to have to give up a decent chunk to get him, number one. And then if you bring him in and he starts mess it up and the culture's messed up for these teams like the Knicks or like the Celtics that are right there knocking on the door. I mean, you talk about, you could be in title contention. The next thing you know, you're like the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, and everything that you've built up to that point is gone. I think the Celtics and the Bucks trade makes sense only due because of both sides. They get a franchise player back. You get rid of Giannis. Only problem is, how do you make that trade? And I don't know what other teams potentially could be out there. I mean, we talked about it on Wednesday with, could the Warriors do it, or was it Saturday? Could the Warriors do it? Like, they have the pieces to probably go get him. I know the Heat have been linked to him as well, but like, who do the Heat even have other than, I guess, Tyler Hero to go back home to Milwaukee?
That's the problem with the Heat, is they have to give up so much to get.
It's going to be draft capital and a superstar, not one or the other. It's going to have to be both.
But then do him and Bam even fit together? Like, how does that work? Like,
I don't know.
the Giannis thing's weird. I mean, we'll see. Like, Giannis could be on the move this offseason. John Morant could maybe be on the move. I don't think so, though. Like, I think Memphis is kind of stuck with him probably for at least another year because his value is so down right now from what it could be. So it's interesting. It would be interesting too to see if he would go to the Knicks or Celtics because he's used to being Giannis. He's used to being the dude, and he would not be the dude if he walks into the Knicks because you have Brunson and you have Cat. And if he goes to the Celtics, I'm guessing Jaylen Brown would be in the trade, but Jason Tatum's still right there in that organization as well. So he's not the dude there either. So that would be a new twist to Giannis's career as well. So that's something definitely, interesting to think about, upcoming in the NBA. Because some teams got to make moves. I mean, the Thunder are dominating the league. The Knicks are dominating the East. The Spurs are coming. Whether they win this series or not, they're young. Wemby is obviously a future superstar. I know people like to discredit the Warriors, but like the Warriors, it's still the Warriors until, they still have those guys. They're still one piece away. I know they didn't have the biggest year, and I'm a huge Devin Booker fan, but the Suns, if they make a couple good moves, they're not too far away either. When you have Book, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, they have some good pieces. They really need a true point guard. They need to get rid of having Devin Booker playing point guard and Jalen Green out there doing his thing. Like, they need to go, if they could get like another Chris Paul of some sort, like they would be a perfect fit. You still got the Lakers. Like, Luka still possesses a threat. We'll see what LeBron does. Some teams got to make some moves if they want to really compete, for an NBA championship.
This sweep is going to make it real easy for Cleveland to go get LeBron this offseason. So he'll be back in Cleveland. But yeah,
Bronny go?
Oh, he's got to go. They're going to have to trade him for.
Unfortunately, it's the same. It's the same Giannis conversation. Like when you trade Giannis, you get two brothers. You get two brothers with him. Like if you trade LeBron, you get Bronny. That's just how it goes. He's going to have to come with you. He'll make a great G League Cleveland player, whatever the hell their G League team is called.
He teammates with Jackson Robinson.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Oh yeah, and. Next year, hopefully, we get true minutes from Lamont Butler in Atlanta because when he comes back from what he was doing, look at Kelsey chugging beers in Cleveland for no reason because they're going to lose. Oh, Tay-Tay's in the building.
Yeah, Tay-Tay is there. The Swifties.
Yeah. He did. I mean, Taylor Swift just increased the value of the Cleveland Cavaliers by at least $2 million by showing up in that arena. But
they may be getting sweat, but they're going to make money.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it's about. Being a business. Get Tay-Tay in the building. Get Tay in the building. All right, so let's Hammer. Let's play your game before we get to the last call. I think we pretty much covered everything that we were going to do on the show. Let's play the game. Everybody's going to play. Hunter, I know you're not a Kentucky fan. You hate the Cats for some reason. I'm not exactly sure.
I grew up around UK. I should be able to play this.
All right, here we go. So you grew up around and you still hate the Cat. What happened, man?
So I'll take the podcast away for a second. It goes back to just how. So I grew up in Eastern Kentucky. If you all know where Ashland is, grew up there, lived there. A lot of toxic fans. The fan base that is there is very aggressive, and we'll leave it at that. But not the best representation of BBN. I have since I started this have learned that there's a whole nother side that I haven't seen before. So my opinions are getting better, but just the fan base had just turned me off, and it's taken a while. I don't outwardly hate UK anymore. I do actually own UK apparel. My wife graduated from UK, so it's slowly coming back. But I'm not.
So we might still get you in BBN. We might still get you there.
Hey, there's levels.
Eventually, there's levels. Yeah,
we're progressing though. We're on the positive trajectory.
It's to the point where I'll get credentialed. I'll be at a UK basketball game this year. It'll be my first time in RUP doing things for UK. It'll happen. So it's coming.
Hey, get credentialed for a Peabody game. I'll drive up, and you and I can sit there and make fun of them.
Fair enough. I might have to just check out most of the SEC this year. We'll see.
So my issue with getting credentialed for games, because we've had the opportunity to do so, and actually Selena was credentialed for one of the women's games. I would love to do it, and it's something that like I want to do at one point. The problem is I do like getting boozed up before a game, and they frown upon that, I think.
That is a heavy frown there.
So like they're like I want you to like do the credential thing, and I'm like, but I can't tailgate. They're like, no, you need to go and like blow in zeros, and I'm like, what about like just 0.05? Like, what if I just get close, but not quite over the legal limit? They're like, no, and I'm like, well, I don't want to do it. But I need to grow up. It's part of my maturation process. I need to just
Can't wear the Cats gear on press row either. That's a bummer.
That's the hard part.
But we can wear.
I've got a bunch of
now, right? Shout out.
You get away with that.
Yeah. You can get away with that. I couldn't get away with what I'm wearing. But it's one of those things that I've had to catch myself a few times, not trying to cheer or not having the outcome of the game. It's like I've got all this sweet UK swag, and
I could
don't
not
get to wear
imagine being in Rupp Arena doing like media stuff when Otega Owe somehow finds a pass around Akpara. Colin Chandler super soakers from 3. I'm 100% getting in somebody's face like, bitch, I told you we were winning this game. I'm dunking on you. Like, I'm getting thrown out of Rupp Arena for sure. And ESPN Owensboro 107 the game is going to call me like, dog, we gave you a shot and you ruined it. I'm like, but I will never forget this moment in my life. It was going to be great.
I'll just say this. If I reacted the way I did after that shot in the arena that night, on press row, I would have probably got my credentials taken.
100%. I'm just saying, like,
I
could have picked any other shot. I could have picked Otega Owe hitting Santa Clara, but I just wanted to touch on the Tennessee shot simply so Irish Hammer felt like he was included in the show.
Yeah, out of respect.
100%. It's all about respect on this show.
Oh yeah.
Also, I just got a text saying, please take down the screaming a notch. Our child is sleeping. So,
or what about the Colin Chandler steal with like 35 seconds left?
Oh, against this.
Yeah.
Also, could have. Hammer, let's play your game. Let's play your game.
I should have made this harder then. All right, so this is going to be the Mount Rushmore of UK football. So Mount Rushmore would be all time.
Yep.
But fortunately, we're talking about Kentucky football here, so it's not a very long list.
All right,
Does
good
it
job.
include the 1950 championship team?
I don't know. So you're going to pick 4 of 10. We normally do like 3 of 8. This is going to be 4 of 10 because the Mount Rushmore has to have 4, right?
All right. Yep.
All right. So we're going to start. Tim Couch.
He's got to be on.
Yeah, he's got to be on it.
Wait, is this like a blind thing or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim Couch got to be on.
Same format. You're not going to know. You're not going to know who's coming next. You just have to say yes, he's on Mount Rushmore, or no, he's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has to be. If you were going to have a statue outside of Kroger Field, it would have to be Tim Couch. So, like,
Okay. So everybody agrees, Tim Couch.
To this day, he is the highest rated recruit to come to Kentucky, right? And to do what he did.
Pick.
He's got to be. Tim Couch got to be on there.
He's got to be Mr. Kentucky, right? In face of Kentucky football. Okay. Lynn Bowden.
Ooh.
No.
I don't think he makes it. But that's tough. I mean, Lynn Bowden, what he did at Kentucky.
Yeah, he was special, man.
Unique as hell. Like you never see.
Yeah, he was.
I think there's a conversation that if he does that the whole season, that he's sitting in New York at the end of the year.
I don't disagree with you, Coach Ryan. Not at all. I really like Lynn Bowden's game and what he did physically, but what he meant to that team, because they would have been completely dead in the water without him.
100%. 100%. His transition to play quarterback and what he did, that's tough. I say he doesn't make it because the other names that are potentially on the list, I could be convinced into it, but what do y'all think?
I say no.
Hell of a player, but not Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
All right.
Let's go.
We all agree. Mo Williams.
No.
I agree. I think you leave him off.
I agree.
Benny broke his record.
So
He did. Benny
No.
Snell.
no Mo Williams.
Nope.
Okay. George Blanda.
Ooh.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know who that is.
Saying I'm in Drew's boat here.
I'll just be honest. I don't even know who that is.
He's the reason Kentucky was good when we had Bear Bryant.
Yeah. See, well, I said, like, are we going back to that far around? But, I mean, that's just like a different era of football, right? So
It
it's
is.
like –
I would say used to, yes, but now, no.
Whatever you guys say, I'm good with.
Before Mark Stoops, yes.
oh, so we're including a Stoops era guy on the Rushmore?
Lynn Bowden was Stoops.
But we kicked him off, is what I'm saying. So like we're putting a Stoops guy on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah.
I would say so.
Okay. All right, let's leave him off. We'll take him off.
So the NFL Hall of Fame championship quarterback and kicker, George Blanda. You're not putting on your Mount Rushmore.
Hold on. It's
Just
We're at a high standard
It's-
here. We're talking about Kentucky football.
Yeah.
Right.
Touche.
This is the SEC, okay?
Yeah. It just means more names not on the list. So, all right. May he rest in peace and not be on Mount Rushmore Kentucky football. All right. So we have Tim Couch on our Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
Josh Hines Allen.
I think he's got to be.
I'm putting him on there. I'm putting Josh Allen on there. Yeah.
I'll go with it because they're the common crowd, but I would say no. And the reason why is because he wasn't the best player on the team.
Who was then?
I think Benny Snell was probably more important.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, though, he was like they had some talent on that defense, but he was a one-man defense pretty much on a 10-win team, national defensive player of the year, won like 10 awards. What was he, number 7 pick in the draft? He's still killing it as a pro too. Like, I think that when you're talking about Mount Rushmore,
we include Tim Couch's pro career and draft pick and whatnot in our Mount Rushmore. So I think if you include Josh Hines Allen, that's what puts him over the edge for me is he's got to be on there.
I'll put him on. I'm gonna lose this one.
all the success he's had as well.
This is my Tyler Eulis take like we had last week.
So he's on.
I'm putting him on there. Well, I mean, Hunter, you could be the tiebreaker. What do you think?
No, I agree.
He's on there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you care what I think, and I know you don't, I would have him on there.
Yeah.
You also
right.
know the other people on this list, so that's
I do. That's
That's good for us. That's a good sign for us, though.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Craig Yeast.
No.
That was too easy.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, great.
So
Yeah. Just again, that's there's new era of football. I think there's too many good players.
Okay. That's fair. All right. So there are 2 spots left to join Tim Couch and Josh Hines Allen. There are 4 names remaining on my list.
Okay.
Benny Snell.
Yes.
Yes.
See, this one, I'm going to lose. I think I just heard 3 yeses. While Benny Snell has the records, I don't think he was the best running back in the Stoops era.
You going to say C-Rod?
No, I think Ray Davis was the best running back in the Stoops era.
I think C-Rod was.
You think so? Like, I would go Ray Davis, Benny Snell, C-Rod.
C-Rod also got suspended like 4 games his last year too. That hurt him individually, but also the team in general as well. I think if you're talking pure talent and success and C-Rod was amazing for 3 years at Kentucky as well. I think C-Rod was the best back, but Benny was also, he's the best.
He's got the record.
School history.
Yeah, Benny's at the record. I because of the tenure at Kentucky, the record, all that, I will put Benny on there. I will attest that he's not the best running back in the Stoops era, but he does have the record, and he's got the stats to back him getting on the Mount Rushmore. So I'll put him on there. So 3 of 4, Benny Snell on there. I would agree.
Everybody agrees, Benny Snell.
How many more we got left?
We got one more.
One choice.
I'm holding out for a name. I'm holding out for a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the third of the 4th heads on the mountain. So everybody's good with Benny Snell as your third.
Yep. Third head. Okay. I know who my 4th is going to be, but I think I'm biased to it, so I'm waiting for the name.
I know who my 4th is.
I can sell it. Okay.
All right. So we have Tim Couch, Josh Hines, Allen, and Benny Snell. There are 3 names left on the list. Jared Lorenzen.
Yes. That is why most people know Kentucky football.
I love Hefty Lefty. I do. And he was
R.I.P.
Exactly. And I think he's got a great story. Put him on the Mount Rushmore.
Yes, because when you mention, and you even hear it on like the McAfee show now, that he has Jared Lorenzen on his desk. Yeah. So he was not only an icon at UK, he was an icon in all of college football. You'll still see in the fall highlight tapes of Jared Lorenzen pop up on TikTok.
I actually
we should have recruited his son too, but we didn't.
I actually saw one last night while I was scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah, because I think anniversary of his passing has come up, so that they talk about like his mental health struggle and whatnot. So I don't want to diminish him in the moment, but so my 4th, I'll just say that would have been Randall Cobb. You tell me like Hefty Lefty over Randall Cobb and like what he has done overall for like Kentucky and in the NFL.
He would have been the first viral football player that Kentucky ever had if the internet was around back then. I think even more than Tim Couch, just because it was such an anomaly. I'm willing to lay down on it. I can see your argument from Randall Cobb. I can. But when you look at the Hefty Lefty, you're also talking about my favorite Wildcat of any sport of all time. But I think that it's just such a thing that even after his passing, for a guy that he does have a Super Bowl ring, but for a guy that didn't really have
Giants, right? With Eli Manning?
Yeah. That when you're looking at it, people are still talking about him, and you can go to Kroger Field any given Saturday and see Hefty Lefty jerseys, and you're not going to see a Randall Cobb one.
I would say you might see both. You're going to see more Hefty Lefty though.
Yeah, the falling backwards behind the back. He does have iconic plays for sure. All right, so I say no. Ryan says yes. What do you say?
I'll go with yes. He is the reason that I do Kentucky football. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
That's fair.
I was going to say no, but then we're 2-2. Like, what do we do?
Did we take it to Iowa? No, this is fair. This is fair. Yeah. So you take it to the Tennessee fan, although he might be a little sour about Randall Cobb because he's from Alcoa. But
he is from Alcoa, yep.
But he would know which one.
Hold on, is Cobb even going to be on the list?
I don't know.
He's got it.
You suck.
He took him off.
Cobb is for sure on the list. We know Cobb is on the list.
I would assume
it's all
so.
about.
Yeah,
Cobb is on the list. It's about if you like Hefty Lefty over Cobb. So Drew was going to say no. What about a comment? Peanut is in the thing. What do we say?
He had already said no.
He said Andre Woodson or Will Levis.
Woodson over Will Levis. I mean, I love Will
Will
Levis.
Andre Woodson and Will Levis over J-Lo? No.
But yeah, if we get one comment in here to be like to break the tiebreaker, to say like hey, is Lorenzen in on the Mount Rushmore? That's a big.
This is a really big debate right here. This could cause quite a rift in the family.
He's gonna have to take up the right or left side. It's a big face to get on there on the Mount Rushmore.
Well, you got to give him the lefty. If it's Jared Lorenzen, you got to give him the lefty.
Very true. Very true. You got to give him. That's his good side, by the way. That's 100% his good side. Hammer, what do you think? Would you have put him in or no?
I look at him a little differently, I think, probably than you guys do. So I don't know that
you look at him as like a player is not like a.
I look at it more of the impact on their program, not necessarily measured by wins, losses, things like that, but their impact on the program is kind of how I
think
look at
that
it.
means you lean to him getting on there, I would imagine, because everybody was talking about impact on program. I got a way we're going to do it right now. Coach Ryan, here we go. Not best 2 out of 3. Not best 2 out of 3. It's just one and done. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and we do the thing. Ready?
Hold up. So what the outcome means what?
So if I win, Jared's on.
Okay. If I win, he's off, and it's Randall Cobb.
Okay.
Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
you cheated! You saw before me, you son of a. All right, Lorenzen's on. Randall Cobb gets the boot. Golly, that's because he played for Aaron Rodgers. If Randall Cobb had played for Aaron Rodgers, he'd been on the damn Mount Rushmore.
I love Aaron Rodgers, but
it's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I always
Aaron Rodgers, that enigma, he stinks. Get it, dude.
No. Now, yes, but did he at Green Bay? No, not at all.
J-Lo was not a meme at all. I saw that comment right there. He was not. And J-Lo revolutionized the tush push before the tush push. Yes. J-Lo, you could get him down if you had 3 yards to go, you might as well have given him the first down because he could literally just hike, boom, got it. I mean, go watch the Arkansas game sometime. It's like 7 overtimes, but it's awesome.
Hefty lefty, I could see the only reason why I wanted to play a game of chances. I'm okay with him getting on the Mount Rushmore. I think it's a great list. What were the last 2 though, Hammer?
All right, so the 2 that you gave no shot, 0 chance of making Mount Rushmore. Anybody want to take a guess who the 2 are?
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb is absolutely on the list. There's one other name. Who do you think it is?
Stevie Johnson.
What about Wandale?
Wesley Woodyard.
Andre Woodson.
Andre Woodson is the other name that's on the list.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it for me.
So Andre Woodson, Randall Cobb. And if you care, BBN, I had Couch, Blanda, Hines Allen, and Cobb were my 4. And I know Blanda, I wasn't alive either, so I don't even start with that shit, Rando. But historically, with Bear Bryant, that was the guy, and I just think he's just got to be on. Just like with Tennessee, Doug Atkins. I wasn't old enough to see Doug Atkins play, but everybody knows who Doug Atkins.
Yeah, and I think it's tough to not put when you talk about Kentucky guys. How many Kentucky guys do we have that are also in the NFL Hall of Fame? So it's tough to not include him. So we're definitely biased in being in this century in playing. But was
he on the 1950 team?
The last time. When did Bear go to Bama? Was it 52?
It was like 52, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because you could add there that he was in some circles a national champion. And I know that it wasn't as cut and dry as it is now back then, but I think Kentucky claims it still.
He joined the NFL in 1949.
So he missed it.
Oh, so he was beforehand. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he
Just
played
keep
until
playing.
he was almost 50 years old. That's the other him and his
See,
pro career.
if Blandon would have been on the 1950 championship team, would have put him in there, but he didn't. So sorry about it, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Does Kentucky even have anything in the stadium representing the national championship? Or I'm trying to
I think they have something real small over by like where they like kind of near where the media room is that says like 1950 champions of the whatever bowl. But I mean, it was like forever ago. They used to have the trophy in the facility, but the last time I was in the facility, it wasn't there. So I don't know if they've moved it or if they've decided they're not claiming that anymore or whatever. But the long answer, yes, but it's not as prominent as like Rupp Arena where it's
all the banners and
yeah.
I think
I've never
pre-segregation stuff probably not looked down as great as it used to be. You know, like just one of those things that like
true.
Yeah, it's nice to claim it. We'll say we got one, but you don't really have one. You know, like once Forrest Gump got into the equation, that's when it really became. It's when it really became sports. You know,
yeah, because otherwise Yale would have 17. So
yeah.
So before we get into last calls for the night, I want to ask Hunter if we get Malachi Moreno, I'm bringing it all the way back to basketball. If we get Malachi Moreno and Milan Momcilovic, can you compare our roster to Tennessee? You can talk rankings, but then also talk fit if you don't mind. Like I want to hear a brilliant basketball mind talk about when it comes down to it. Are we both top five? I think you already believe Tennessee's a top 5 SEC team. Are we both top 5 SEC teams? Are we Friday SEC tournament teams? And like, what does it mean if we get both these players in the long run for Kentucky fans compared to what Tennessee already knows they have on their roster?
So top 5 SEC teams, absolutely. I think you could make the argument that UK maybe ends up there even without getting Milan. Definitely with Milan, I think you're a top 3-4 SEC team. Tennessee is a top 3-4 SEC team. When you're talking fit, I do really like the fit of the Kentucky team, probably a little bit better than I like Tennessee's fit. Barnes and company have a tough road to get these guys to mesh and play good basketball. However, the talent is much higher at Tennessee than it is at UK. And yeah, Peanut Butter Posse, Goodman would say they have too many mouths to feed. There are a lot of mouths to feed. However, in the portal era, they could have gone anywhere. And I know from Ames's recruitment, Barnes was selling this team on buying in together and just really not focusing on individual players. I know last year at UK, they were talking about everybody could be a star, and that was something they really drove into. So yeah, Goodman's probably going to say that, but I wouldn't listen too much to Goodman. I do really like Tennessee's talent, but I like Kentucky's fit a lot better. And I think both of them have top 2. Drew Russell, 2. I think both of them could be top 2 type of teams in the SEC this year.
I was saying Tennessee was 2 behind Florida. But yeah, honestly, as a Kentucky fan, like, to be honest, I don't really worry. I mean, obviously it is a factor, but worrying about a team that doesn't buy in or those things with a Rick Barnes team kind of seems a little, I don't know. Not that I'm saying you're saying that, but just I feel like Rick Barnes, he's just one of those dudes that like you never have to worry about. Is his team connected? His ego's put aside. So I don't really worry or fear that much about Tennessee.
I agree.
It's just really like, it's not even about the coaching side of it. It's really the players. Like, can they not, fight and yell at each other or, have arguments about like, well, he's playing 25 minutes and I'm playing 15 and he's getting 10 shots a game and I'm getting 3. I don't worry so much about Coach Barnes being able to manage that. It's more of like because we know how college kids are. And I've talked about it on this show before, how I was when I was in high school of not being the best teammate all the time. And, hurting me with recruiting stuff, not that I was getting recruited by Division I schools or anything, but I think Tennessee's going to probably be just fine. And, we know the talent they have. So
I agree. I don't agree about it. What?
I said just got to go win ball games.
Exactly. Yeah. And when it comes down to it, they're all there for the same thing. I think Tennessee will be fine from like a buy-in standpoint. I'm not super worried about it.
Who would if you had to do like a ranking, Hunter, who would I don't know, pick a number, top 3, top 4, as it is today, not the what ifs, but where we sit today, who would be your top 3 SEC teams?
He just said Kentucky's a better fit than Tennessee. I heard him say it. So
yeah,
Kentucky won, and then who's
did you hear all the ifs that were in there?
Let's be very clear. Florida is 1.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's close.
Ooh.
And I know I'm definitely never coming back to this show again. Irish definitely now. I don't think
it's been nice knowing you, Hunter.
Exactly. And I understand that's going to ruffle some feathers, but
even with their backcourt, not seemingly unknown, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they still got Clavshar, even if Denzel's not cleared, and he's underappreciated. I mean, that kid, he can shoot, he can score, he plays hard every second he's out on the floor. I don't think Denzel gets cleared, but I mean, could he? I mean, they kind of do have a case for him too. If they really, he only played like 40-something minutes the entire year. I saw Todd Golden was on the field at 68 the other day. I was watching it, and he was like, it was probably my fault while he even played that much. Like, just being a young coach, and I think it was his first year at Florida. He's like, I just played him to play him and didn't really realize the future of what it could impact. So,
well, his thought were somewhere else. It was on young co-eds, not necessarily what was going on the court.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Wade is going to have that same problem this season. So
yes, Will Wade is going to try to ruin college basketball, and I hope it ruins LSU as a program.
Yeah, go back and watch my rant on Wednesday about Will Wade.
I'll have to do that. But Florida, I think Aberdeen absolutely gets his waiver, or I don't even think he's going to need a waiver. The way the new eligibility rules are reading that should get approved next month, he would be eligible for a 5th year without an issue. It's going to be 5-5, and I expect it to go through.
Being booed and refereed.
So yeah, 100%. I think he will get booed and refereed, but. So I've been attacked for this.
We can't get like Ortega back or something like that.
That would mean Ortega would be able to come back.
No, so it's not going to be retroactive. So you still have to have college eligibility as of right now for headed forward. So it's going to be super weird, and it's not going to make any sense. But basically,
so Aberdeen's going to have to. He's going to have to file a lawsuit. He's going to have to win it to be cleared, to be deemed eligible, and then he's going to get a 5th year.
So basically, he would get the red shirt. Is how I'm looking at it. Is he would get that red shirt year, the retroactive red shirt year, and any attorney is going to be able to fight that. His minute share was like 3% or whatever it was when I looked a second ago. He'll get that absolutely. I don't think there'd be any issue. So the NCAA is going to cede on that, and they're not going to fight it because there's no point in fighting that. Ortega, you're not going to fight him. He's going to lose. The same thing for Trey Carroll with Xavier. I know that's already been asked from me, for my fans. Like it is what it is. It's going to happen. But anybody that was graduated this year and this was their end of their eligibility clock with no other avenues, no red shirts, no anything like that, they're done. If you can find a serviceable way to get back, maybe there's a shot. Denzel, I've heard a couple people say that they're confident he'll get that waiver and everything will be fine.
Yeah, it's a BS though, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they just automatically make it so that a certain high school class was able to get it like this class of seniors right now in college would just get the 5th year so they could get away from the potential lawsuits because they don't want to fight that battle anymore. I'm surprised.
Or to get rid of the
the
lawsuits, just make it the incoming freshmen like this year, next year, the rule applies for them and not anybody else in college. Then nobody can sue. Yeah. Just like the Tyron Stokes class, they're the first year that gets it, and anybody else no. Like once your years are gone, you're gone. There's no law. You can file a lawsuit, you're going to lose it based off of our rules in principle, but
you're not going to lose it though. You're going to win the lawsuit. That's the problem.
That's
the NCAA
the problem.
has nothing at this point.
They've lost every ounce of control and power that they've ever had. And because part of it's just sports now. We're in the player empowerment era in sports, and They run everything. Same with the agents that aren't even qualified that should be representing anybody. You know, being a college agent, you just say, hey, I want to be a college agent, find a player to represent. And that's another problem in the sport too. In professionals, you got to have licenses and all those things. And in college, I can represent somebody and I have zero clue what I'm doing, but I'm going to fight every ounce of penny I can get.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I was mentioning something with Roto World, and because I thought it was interesting if you looked at Otega Oweh's Instagram story, like multiple stories about him playing Kentucky ball and Drake's new song and whatnot, and there was definitely some things you could read into it, which Kentucky fans read into some stuff. I read into some stuff for sure. I definitely thought it was interesting. I do think it's a long shot, but messaging with some folks, it's like the verbiage of how the 5-5 went into play would have include Otega Oweh's high school class, but there have been some things I guess were asked to be added into it to not include him. So that I guess that depends on which gets approved, and then even if that does get approved, does Double O even want to come back to Kentucky based off the roster we have now, and does it fit? NIL wise, we have it, and I think it'd be silly looking at what is right now in the NBA draft not to take someone like Otega Oweh, who killed the NBA combine 5-5 again. Like, I know his jump shot looks funky. I know he doesn't fit the mold, but like, dude's a bucket. He plays great defense. Like, he's someone. He's a fighter. Like, he's got a NFL pro pedigree background. Like, it makes sense for him to go into the league. So I don't think he's going to come back to Kentucky. But that 5-5.
As much as I would love to have Otega back, like, I don't even want that rule to go into effect where those guys could come back, because as great as it would be for us and like Otega, the whole sport would just be such a chaotic disaster that, like, at that point we're going 10 years back. We're going 10 years backwards again with all the rules that need to be changed. Like, at some point things just got to get fixed. We can't keep doing this as college basketball or even just college sports of just the whole, honestly, just like BS shenanigans that's going on. So, like, I hope Otega does well and goes to the league. Like, I mean, I'm a huge Otega fan. Like, but if we get him back and then it causes 100 other fifth-year dudes to come back and cause chaos in the sport, like, I wouldn't even sign up for that, in my opinion.
I agree. And you're probably going to see lawsuits this summer, fall roll in for these guys. And I mean, a guy like Otega absolutely could get a lawsuit, get an injunction, get to play, and then they could just string it out through the rest of the season. But what I did get from the NCAA I think yesterday, actually, any student who had completed their fourth year has no additional eligibility. Everything will be moving forward. So Aberdeen's going to be an interesting case. From what I heard from a couple of people that I talked to in the Florida program, it sounded like they were going to be okay, but I'm not exactly sure if they've already gotten the waiver approved and just haven't announced it or what they're doing there. But it sounds like Aberdeen's going to be an exception and not the rule, but it's going to be really interesting. And there are no rules at this point.
I wonder what will happen if, like, let's say a guy like Otega goes undrafted or something, and then, like, not Otega specifically, but like another, a guy from
RJ Lewis, same sort of thing. Yeah.
A random fifth year or a random guy that played 4 years at, I don't know, Mississippi State or something. Like, could he randomly just file a lawsuit to try to get a fifth year? Like, that's what I'm wondering what will happen. Because
he knows the Kai Ziegler's going to file a lawsuit. That's what the dude does.
Yeah, like that.
I mean, Will Wade's going to file every single one he can, too. I mean, let's be honest. RJ Lewis, any of them, just send them all to LSU or send them to Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. Will Wade will take him for sure.
Yeah.
Will Wade's probably got a team of lawyers on retainer.
Yeah, him and Nate Oates, man, they will. Yeah. I don't think there's a depth they won't sink to.
I agree.
So, well, Will Wade, I mean, Nate Oates is bad. Will Wade's 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a full-on scumbag.
That's why I put out on the Heavy Pour Sports account of the Michael Jackson eating popcorn meme of, like, Nate Oates looking at Will Wade going, thank God you took over as the bad guy in college
And
basketball.
Scott Drew, he's not even talked about anymore. He's the one who did it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, with him and Lane Kiffin on the same campus, there's going to be a major boost in Plan B sold in Baton Rouge.
And
buy your stocks now before it skyrockets.
Yeah.
Going to the moon, baby.
That AD, man. That AD, he's got a unique cast of characters down there, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
It's Louisiana. They're all unique. They wouldn't mind me saying that either.
They probably agree. Yeah.
He's going to have some farmer
WWE fans. Any WWE fans in on the show right now? Is Clash in Italy or Clash in Paris, whatever the hell is going on? Is that tonight?
No, that's next week.
Next week. All right.
Saturday night main event tonight.
They were in God's arena last night.
Match that's going to be fantastic.
I tried to get someone
to
get me
SmackDown was a referee.
Yeah, I was trying to get someone to get a Rupp Arena SmackDown shirt for me. That
you can order them.
Yeah.
Are they online?
Yeah.
Oh, last time when they were there for Raw a couple years back, I went because they had a sweet Rupp Arena one night. I didn't get it because they didn't have it online, but I'll check it out. All right, so yeah, I think we have kind of beat the college basketball thing to death. Hunter, I do agree. We don't listen to Jeff Goodman on this show unless he's dunking on Will Wade, and then we 100%. I think we agree with that. Yes. Yeah, Will Wade's kind of making a mockery of college basketball right now, and I don't think it's because he thinks that's how to build the best team. I think it's because he just didn't do well in the portal season. I
it's
think
out of desperation.
It's desperate.
I do.
Yeah.
I think
same as Nate Oates.
Yeah,
same as Nate Oates.
And I think he's trying to make sure LSU doesn't lose on their investment of spending a lot of money to get him back there after kind of canning him when he was doing the what was the quote? Strong ass offer. When it comes to
strong ass offers.
Strong ass offers. But
some strong ass jail time.
Yeah, he dipped dog Dutch dived it. But the guys on the bottom of the screen, are you familiar with our last call segment when we do which we call it last call? It's like the one thing that just kind of bothers you, or you just kind of want to get off your chest of like last call before we get off the show, something you want to just tell everybody watching that you would either like to see corrected or just kind of like, this bothers me and I want to say it out loud. Are you familiar with the last call thing? Coach Ryan, I'll go with you first. What's your last call for the night?
My last call for the night is going to be that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for winning back-to-back MVPs, has got to stop the free throw merchant stuff. There is something to it. People can tell me no all I want. I watch these basketball games too. I'm as big of a fan as BBN as anybody, but when you're looking at it objectively, he is flopping all over the floor. He looks like Grayson Allen out there, like he did at Duke. So let's calm it down and let's play basketball and let our skill do the talking, because obviously you got a ton of skill there. So quit flopping, Shai.
Coach Ryan knows ball.
But go win a ring.
Win the ring, just not flopping. Yes.
That being said, LeBron James is the biggest flopper in the NBA. So,
hey, Brunson's a bad one.
Is Grant Williams not in the NBA anymore?
Hey, Brunson's a bad flopper too, though. He flops a lot.
Yeah,
that's my only thing about Shai, and I agree. Like I can't avoid the clips underneath of him falling down after every shot, but like every ball dominant guard in the league right now is doing that. Like I watch
because they get calls, they get to the free throw line.
Exactly. I watched Jalen Brunson
part of the game. It's
beat his man off the dribble, had a wide open layup. He stopped to let the guy run into him, and then shot the shot with his left hand. He missed the shot, but he got 2 free throws.
Yeah,
because like legit, there's nobody in the lane. It's a wide open layup, but he stopped to do it. It's just what the NBA is. I agree. Shai's got to stop doing it because it's just. That being said,
it's not helping.
It's like it's like anything else. Like quarterbacks in the NFL, it's not the same game as it used to be. They're going to let you get away with not getting plastered in the backfield. They're going to let you get away with the flop and the ticky-tack calls on the wrist or the elbow or those sort of things. You got to adapt to the game and just do it, right? So I don't think it's so much on Shea, my perspective. I think it's more on the league.
Yeah, but I think it could be policed, and I think that I would like to see Shea, even as a Kentucky fan, I would like to see Shea get called for like, all right, man, like stop, like let's play basketball. Nobody wants to watch you shoot free throws all game. That's not what these people on TV want. That's not what the people that paid good money to see the back-to-back MVP. They want to see you play basketball. So that's just not really playing basketball. You know, I could go out there and fall around and draw a foul eventually in the NBA. I mean, just out of pure unathleticism. So it's not proving anything. And I think that it's going to ultimately, if he can't get it under control with the more spotlight that's on him now, that it's going to become just what he's known for.
Yeah, I think you're correct. He's not going to stop unless the NBA makes him stop. I think it's a whole of NBA problem. You would like for the top players in the league to kind of like correct themselves and do it. But you see in the playoffs, he's not as efficient right now because they're kind of being more strict with the calls. So maybe that forces him to change it, at least in postseason play. But Mr. Hunter Sampson, what's your last call for this evening?
My last call was going to be that I wanted Will Wade to just get absolutely drugged through the mud, but we already did that.
No, do it again. You can do it again if you want to.
No, I think
this dude sucks.
When you stoop to the level of trying to bring RJ Lewis back, you take it to like, it's like when Nate Oates did it last year with Bediako. You're taking it and then you're moving it to like 3 steps further, and it's just terrible. But I also did want to mention Shai. It's not his fault. It's James Harden started this. Back when I actually watched the NBA, it was Harden. He was flopping. He started it all. And then it's the NBA's problem now. Shai's just doing what he has to win basketball games. So I'll leave those 2 things for what I'll go with today.
Drew, what's your last call, brother?
Yeah, it's nothing negative, but you guys know me. I'm a big fight fan, MMA, UFC, boxing. I'm watching Aiden Ross and the Brand Risk Promotions. They got a little mixed boxing MMA fight tonight. Johnny Manziel's the main event versus Bob Menery. Big.
How do we watch that? Can you watch that on like normal TV?
It's on YouTube.
YouTube, okay.
Yeah, they just start. The problem is I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stay awake for the Bob Menery Johnny Manziel fight. But there's like some social media guys fighting, some former athletes like Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson. They're the co-main fight. So it's kind of a shit equals fight card. I'm kind of digging with it, and it's in the UFC Apex. Like Dana's kind of supporting them. I'm
on YouTube
like
right
Kansas
now. What's
State,
it called?
Michael Beasley. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah.
Go to Aiden Live YouTube channel. 29K viewers though, and then there's a ton of other streamers viewing it. There's probably
AIDN Live.
Yeah.
So I think typically someone who is currently streaming on YouTube doesn't like promote another YouTube channel, but fuck it, you might as well go to Aiden Live and check this out.
Yeah, you've had enough bourbon to pull that off tonight. It's okay.
Yeah. But it's a whole bunch of like shits and giggles fights. There's like former YouTubers fighting. Half the fights are boxing, half the fights are MMA, but in a boxing ring. It's But Johnny Manziel and Bob Menery fighting is gonna be pretty damn funny because they're like good friends too, and they wanted to fight one time, so they set this whole event up. And Dana and the UFC have like helped them out throughout the week, so it's pretty entertaining stuff.
Nice. All right. Well, I have it. It's Brand Risk 14 is what's getting ready to pop up on my.
Yeah, there you go.
After, of course, a political ad drops up on here, so I gotta watch this nonsense first. But all right, Hammer, what's your last call?
Well, I had this one for last week, but we ran a little long and didn't get to do them. So to put this in context, I'll rewind back to last Saturday's show. I literally got off an airplane, came home, changed clothes, took a shower, ate, and got on the show. Spent the week in Vegas. And I learned something about both myself and other people while I was out there.
I cannot wait to hear this.
So I'm a Gen Xer, okay? We were brought up, raised to be independent, to take care of things for ourselves. And
what year frame was Gen X?
Google's free, homie. We didn't focus on media. We focused on was who was playing on the 3 channels that we had that particular Saturday and or Sunday, and we looked up football scores and fantasy football stats in USA Today on Monday, right? So we were patient. We were raised to be patient. We're kind of what they call a sandwich generation. We have parents that are really old and kids that are grown. So we're kind of expected to take care of everybody. And nobody ever stops and asks how we're doing. Everybody's worried about the parents. Everybody's worried about the kids. They just assume we're okay. But we are, because we were raised to be that way. I have learned that is not the case widespread throughout the rest of this country and this generational gap that we have. We have come to a point in this country where we have to put warning labels on hair dryers that says, do not use this product in the shower. We have drug marketing by the FDA, who has to approve all this crap, right? We have medicine being pimped on TV that says, if you are allergic to this drug, stop taking it. Well, if you was allergic to the shit, why'd you start taking it? Are we really at a point in life where we have to protect people from themselves to this point? I mean, yes. Are we that dumb collectively?
I work in healthcare. I will tell you, it is not the younger generation that you have to put the allergic thing on there for. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I agree. I work in a thing where I'm around the baby boomers. Yeah. I had a guy, and I'm not going to give away where I work or anything. Had a guy come in a couple weeks ago, tell me he had to use the restroom. Yeah, man, restroom's right over there. Comes in, uses the restroom. I go back in the restroom, and he missed. And it was not close. So maybe we need to put instructionals on how to sit on the shitter, but he didn't do it, man.
Well, he missed the number 2, or
that's even worse.
Oh, he missed the number 2.
Well, that's all right, because we got 25-year-olds working on construction sites that somehow get that shit on the ceiling, on the wall, on the opposite wall of where the toilet is.
I mean, I've had Taco Bell before, but
yeah. I mean, okay, touche. I do work with a lot of Mexican guys. Anyway, so these people in Vegas, like they're walking down the sidewalk. Like there is a blue million things to look at, see, hear, smell, taste, whatever. And there's also food places. But these people have to have constant stimulation. Like they can't put their phone down for 2 seconds. Their attention span's about the length of a gnat's pecker, and they want everything now. Like there's no patience. Like I want it now. Instant gratification. I want it now. They do not understand how to wait for anything. I.e., let's go back to football game was on Saturday. I don't get the score sheet and shit till Monday. Y'all would never survived out here. They never unplug. They don't know how to be bored. Like they don't know how to be still and silent and quiet. And I swear, I think some of you people would absolutely keel over, physically die if you didn't have a cell phone or a screen to be in front of and look up the dumbest shit in the history of mankind with some of the stuff that I see people look at on TikTok and other things.
Oh, I'd be cooked. I already know. I'd be cooked.
Yeah, there's no customer service anymore. outside of the 4-star restaurant, Italian restaurant, Scarpetta. It's at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas. Shout out to Mike and Jason. They were fantastic. I went twice. It was so good. Outside of those guys, nobody knows how to offer customer service anymore. When somebody brings you something that you had to wait for or you had to ring it up yourself, oh, thank you. Oh, no problem. Well, I hope the hell it ain't a problem. It's your job.
And they need a
They
tip.
turn the screen around. You want to tip me?
Yes. Yeah. And you asked me for a tip before I ever stick my card in.
Yes.
It's going to ask you a question.
Yeah, it's going to ask you a question. Well, I'm going to give you an answer. People don't hang out anymore. There's not a hangout like we used to have hangouts that we'd go and just chill, barbershops, burger joints, ice cream bars, the park, tailgates, the town slut's house, whatever it was. We had some place we would get together and go and talk about all the stuff that everybody has to have a damn phone to do nowadays. It's ridiculous. There's no such thing as neighborhoods anymore. It's just I live on this street and this dude lives on this house and I got this guy on this side of me. I don't know who they are. I do not know a single one of my neighbors. And it's not because I'm antisocial. What is going on with music with this group? I did not realize this when we booked the trip because it really didn't matter. We were there to see Gwen Stefani and No Doubt. But they had some kind of electric music festival bullshit
I don't get it.
going on when I was there.
Yeah.
They called it EDC. Does anybody know what that is? EDC music?
No, I saw something on TikTok. I have no idea.
Extremely disappointing culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like dubstep. It's like EDC is like what we used to call dubstep.
That
Well-
stuff makes you want to have a seizure.
It could have been erectile dysfunction causing because that was ridiculously painful to even hear off in the distance. Thank God they were at the speedway on the other end of town that I didn't have to listen to that bullshit. But I have never in my life seen women, and not even women, girls and boys, wear such scantily clad apparel in my life. A rave. You know, Peanut Butter Posse, I am at least familiar with rave. This would make rave look like baby shit. Like this was intense, ridiculous, obnoxiously. I saw an Asian boy that weighed about 75 pounds, had nothing on but sheer fishnet, top and bottom. His little tighty-whitey drawers hanging out. I almost took a picture because I'm like, damn it, if I got to see this, so does Rando.
And then we find out that it was Nico.
If there were SpongeBob pajamas anywhere inside, I probably would agree with you. And I'll close it with this. And everybody's all about the technology, right? They got to have the latest. I just got a new work phone, got a new iPhone. I've been eligible for upgrade for years. I've had the same phone for 7 years. It's an iPhone SE. The only reason I gave it up is because I can't see it anymore. It's so damn small. The text will only blow up so much, and I do have to occasionally look at blueprints on it when I'm out in the field or whatever. So I went to my IT guy and said, I need a new phone. So I got an iPhone 17. Which is fine.
Fancy.
I mean, I'm not an Apple guy,
Fancy.
but it's fine.
Apple AI.
But the way people have talked about, like I see all the time about the robot technology and the AI technology and how it's going to save all this time and save all this energy and save all this money and all this other stuff. It's supposed to make life easier, right? Then why is everybody so damn tired and exhausted and they don't feel like getting up and doing anything? Everybody takes their work home with them. You get endless notifications on the phone. What you used to have is what we had is downtime. These people use it for reading emails. It makes you be constantly available to everybody. And there is no off switch.
No, you just got to delete it from your phone.
That's it. When I used to be, before I got into project management and superintendent and field engineer and all that other shit that I do, 25 years, I was a district and regional manager for various companies. So I traveled and I was that guy. I had to be connected. I've had phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning because somebody's damn fire alarm was going off, or a burglar alarm. I got a call at 5 a.m. on a Sunday because somebody's store was on fire, and I had to go down there and watch the fire department absolutely butcher it. I was that guy. But now everybody's that guy. 5-year-old kids are that guy. 80-year-old grandmas are that guy. I realized when I said, you know what? I'm putting this sumbitch in airplane mode. I dare you to try to call me. Work phone never rang. I never looked at it. Never checked emails. Only reason I had my personal phone, 2 things. 1, had my boarding pass and my hotel key. And 2, I knew I'd leave my damn card somewhere, and I had to have it in my digital wallet. We're screwed, dude. I realized the generation gap between me and what's coming up is far greater than any generation gap we've ever seen in this country.
You're right.
So I said all that to say, miss Gen X with all your bullshit, because we don't care, number one. Number 2, we'll always just tell you facts and truth like it is. It's not because we don't like you. It's not that we're being mean. It's just we're telling you truth, and it's just you don't want to hear it. Well, I'm sorry. That's what you get when you're dealing with a Gen Xer, because nobody sugarcoated it for us, sweetheart.
Facts.
Hell yeah.
Facts.
Preach.
Yeah, I will say it just technology is one of those things where it like makes things so much easier, but then it's like if you didn't know it was there, it would actually in the real world be easier, right? It's like everything at your fingertips makes things just complicated, man. It just I don't know how to explain it, but
everything that's supposed to simplify life and save time and be convenient is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It consumes more time, takes more effort, and you never get a break from it.
They're like nice to know versus need to know. Like it's nice to have all this stuff. I don't need it.
Yeah.
You just
like
don't
that.
Need it.
Yeah, like the Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey fight. That could have been an email. We didn't have to spend all the time and the TV production and stuff. You could have sent me that shit in an email.
Yeah. The 3-hour show we did, which we're coming up close on right now. But yeah, that show that we stayed up for, golly, what a miserable fight that was. And I'm still being told it wasn't a work. Can't believe it. I'm still trying to be convinced it wasn't a complete work.
We did see 2 great fights. We did see 2 great fights. Francis with a good knockout, and then Nate Diaz pulling out piles of blood.
Yeah, I mean, sure. If it was a good, it was a good card, I guess. 10 years ago. For my last call, you mind if I get just kind of serious for a little bit? So y'all, when I say y'all, mostly the permanent staff on the show, Hammer, Drew, Ryan, you might have been on here for this one, clowning me for NASCAR, my love for NASCAR. I have a deep affinity for the boys who drive left. I used to drive. My dad built me a race car, which is what I grew up doing. And unfortunately, a couple of days ago, we learned about the passing of Kyle Busch. And I'll tell you, I'm not a Kyle Busch fan. That's just not how I was. I was very much a Kyle Busch hater. And I think his fan base or lack of fan base, that you either loved Kyle Busch or you hated him. That's just kind of how it was. Like you were a Team 18, you were a Team Eminem guy, or you didn't like him, right? But just, similar to Kobe Bryant when he passed too early, or, other greats, you go back and you reflect on their greatness and their impact on the sport, right? And you go back and you look at Kyle Busch and how he come up, and he joins the Hendrick team as a young kid. And again, I grew up. I'm a Dale Earnhardt guy. Like Dale Earnhardt is my favorite driver of all time. I don't like Hendrick Motorsports. Like, not only is he replacing Terry Labonte, but he's joining Jeff Gordon. No effing thank you. Like, I am not going to like this dude, right? And then he goes and he joins Team Gibbs. And he starts winning races. I think 9 races his first year with Gibbs. And he's not just absolutely dominating the sport. He's doing it in a Toyota Camry. He is winning NASCAR races in a Toyota Camry. The most America thing in like all of sports in the United States. He's doing it in Toyota Camry. He's just absolutely crushing it, right? He is just dominating the sport. And he's doing it against guys like Junior, my legacy guys, Kevin Harvick, who replaced Dale Earnhardt. He is doing the thing in the sport that I don't want him to do because he's not doing it the right way, right? He's brash. He's not accepting the fact that he's a rook and then he's coming up and he's like a newcomer. He joins NASCAR like he's supposed to be there. Like he is the greatest thing to touch the track since Dale Earnhardt, right? And then unfortunately he what happens a couple of days ago happens, and then you actually like reflect on what he meant to the sport. He did an interview as a young Kyle Busch, and they asked about him again. He's winning 8-9 races a year. He's got 2 championships at this point, and then he was like, "Do you consider yourself like the greatest of all time? Can you get there?" And he talked about like, I'm not going to be the next Richard Petty. Like, I will not be able to win 200 NASCAR races. With the talent right now, it's just impossible. But with the Truck Series and the Busch Series, or I guess it's now the O'Reilly Series, and now you got the main Cup Series, I can get to 200 races in totality and be considered one of the greatest. And you know what? That's exactly what he did. 230 some races between the Truck Series, O'Reilly, and the Cup Series, and he will go down as one of the greatest of all time. You may not have liked how he did it. You may not have liked like how brash he was, the cockiness / confidence, the bowing down in front of all the fans at whatever track you just won at. You booed him, and he still celebrated himself. But you cannot deny the fact he was one of the greatest to ever get behind a race car, right? Kyle Busch, you done good, man. His family and whatnot, it is so unfortunate that you lost him. He was a great father. He's a great husband. He was one hell of a racer, right? And if you listen to anybody talk about Kyle Busch up to this point, they have talked about the greatest compliment you can give him is that he was a racer, and that's what he was. He was one hell of a racer. He held a steady wheel, man. Rest in peace. God bless your family, and I hope you get the recognition on the biggest racing weekend there is. Indy 500, Coca-Cola 600, the biggest racing weekend there is. It sucks you passed away, but I hope you get the recognition that you deserve on this weekend. Like I said, you held a steady wheel, man. God bless you. KY, KB, the Eminem 18, shout out.
Word.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah, 100%.
But sorry to kind of bring it down on my last call, man. I'm a big NASCAR guy, and again, I have hated Kyle Busch for years and years and years of my life. And again, when I saw that he passed away, and I've seen all the videos of him, and especially of him and Brexton and his son, I was like, God, I legit have hope for this dude to lose every single Sunday. And right now, I got like tears in my eyes based off of just how awesome of a dude he was apparently, and like how he raced.
Well, and it's the sanctity of life. It's human life.
Yeah.
And, couldn't stand Bear Bryant. But when he passed, it was a sad time because of what he meant to so many people. And we can't stand him for one reason or another, but that's somebody's husband and father and son or brother or
Coach.
whatever. Exactly. And, you know, the accomplishments aside, that most of these people are great people, and you just have to. So I don't think you brought it down, Rando. I think you celebrated the fact that he lived a good life, accomplished a lot, and the fact that so many people are upset just goes to show how special of a person he was to those that knew him. And, you know, it's a shame, a tragic event to be so young. But there's just none of us are promised tomorrow. So got to live each day and love over hate.
100%.
Florida.
Mhm.
And if you watch my IG story, I will tell you, I don't know if I want to get to 105, but there's an old lady on there that I posted, and she said her path to 105 years old was that she drank one bourbon, maybe two a day at 4 p.m. every day with her husband, and that's why she is 105. So
It's medicinal.
I don't think I want to get to 105. That might be too many years for me. You know, it might be just maybe it's probably a good 10, 20 years more than I want to live. But if you want to get to 100, drink a bourbon every single day. Shout out for today's bourbon, Woodford Reserve Double Oak, delicious. But it's what, like Hammer said, it's for the soul. It's medical bourbon.
It's scientifically proven. It's medicinal.
She said it. She's 105, and she said I drink a bourbon. It's 100% scientifically proven. But
it will absolutely destroy bacteria in your body.
That's right. But everybody watching, thank you so much. We so much appreciate you watching. You know, and coming on here. Everybody in the comments, you're what drive the show. Coach Ryan, thank you so much for coming on here again. You're welcome. Any Saturday we come on here for happy hour. Same with you, Hunter. Like, brother, I know you probably didn't have 2 hours and 45-ish minutes dedicated to this show, but thank you so much for coming on here. You're welcome anytime you come on here. And Hammer and Drew, it's just you're like kind of expected at this point. So shout out. But we'll end this show. Me and Coach Ryan have the State Line Co. stuff on right now. Feed the Studs, the traditional State Line hat. They also have the Script K, which is baseball centric. So let's hope they get in here. When's the show? Monday? Monday's the countdown show.
Show's on Monday. Yep.
All right, let's hope they get in there on Monday. Go get your stuff. All UK Ball 25, get 25% off on that, and then Bluegrass Dash Elite, get your heavy pour sports stuff. I got the shirt on. Hammer's got the shirt on. You can go get that. The All UK Ball, the Border Rivals, the heavy pour sports, heavy pour 15, get you 50% off and free shipping on that. We also got some jerseys coming out. So thank you so much for watching. Ryan, Hunter, thank you so much for joining the show. And with all that being said, y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. Remember what Memorial Day is. Veterans Day is to go out there and get like your free like meals and stuff, right? Go out there, get your free IHOP, get your free Applebee's, whatever. Memorial Day, sit back, do your Murph challenge, work out, think about the thing of why you have Memorial Day. That's just my personal opinion. You know, the deals are whatever. Think about why you have Memorial Day. I'm not going to go on that tangent. But y'all have a great weekend. And as always, go Cats.
Go Big Blue.
Go Cats.
Go Vols.
What are you going to say? Say go Big Blue. Say it. Oh, he dropped out that mother.
Oh.
Play the music. Peace.
On a whole nother level. Let's get it. Run it up. Check the scope. Money talk, money mo. Yeah. Main crew say they weed it. Kicking down the door. Run it up. Check the scope. Money talk, money mo. What? Main crew say they weed it. Kicking down the door. Let's go. And it's the whole lane when I'm driving the machine.